Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? Hope you can hear us. We
Are we
got,
on?
yeah. Let's see who we got. We got Johnny Future, who's been working every day since March. He finally got a day off.
I see that.
And then we got K Munin. We got him here. We got Stone
That's
Sour.
right.
And we got Tommy. And we got Chance. Hi, Chance. The South Fork land. Hold on, I'll tell you where we at in Dallas. Let me finish saying hey to everybody. We got Robert. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Robert. Hope y'all had a very uneventful week. Our last 3 weeks has been very eventful. Not good eventful because we having health issues with the parents again. But such is life.
It's been trying.
Yeah, such is life. But hopefully y'all had a very uneventful few weeks. And if it was eventful, I hope
Hmm.
the events were good. We got John Fresnick. I think it's Fresnick.
Frozen.
Frosnick.
And Nostalgic says Tiger Beat. No, it is 16 magazine, circa 1967.
And we got Reynard.
Renard is there. And Tommy gets it. Tommy says groovy. Yes, indeed. As you can see,
We
I
just
am.
got this shirt
This is
today.
we found this at the thrift store. This is the real deal,
Yes.
circa 1960s. This is the real deal. And I was like, I can get into this. The real deal, folks. Yes.
Yeah.
There we are.
I love that shirt.
I'm right up there with the Partridge Family and Brady Bunch now. This is
Yeah.
Brady Bunch, and then she's circa 1980s here
With the
because
jacket.
this is my jacket, childhood jacket
Oh wow.
from collecting packs of cigarettes. People would throw away packs of cigarettes, and I'd pick them up and rip the Marlboro points off, and I'd mail them into the Marlboro catalog, and they'd send me merchandise, and they sent me this leather jacket. This is an official Marlboro leather jacket, circa late 1980s. Um, Nostalgic said he knows he was joking. Okay.
Yeah. Where are we in Dallas? So Bobby has found out that he is not the father of Jenna's baby.
Maury Povich could have told him that.
Yeah. Sue Ellen, JR overheard Sue Ellen and her little boyfriend
Uh-huh.
arguing, and the boy saying, I know that was my baby, and you know it too. So JR
Yeah.
overheard
So now
that.
JR has a new target.
Yeah, JR already set Cliff up for the major downfall. So that's where we are.
Yeah.
So it's
With
chugging
with
along.
the offshore drilling.
Yeah, with the offshore drilling. He psyched Cliff into buying some offshore drilling sites, and Cliff went for it, and he won the auction, which JR wanted him to, so that he can lose all his money.
Yeah.
And Chance got bitten by a dog, a German
Uh-oh.
Shepherd, drew blood. I hope you went and got yourself looked at, and the dog had all his rabies
Because if they didn't, they'll want you to
shots.
do the rabies run.
Yeah, and that's like 16 shots in the stomach. I think it's two
Yeah,
to
like
three
every
rounds.
week or every 2 weeks. I
It's a
forget how it
couple of
goes.
rounds
Yeah.
of it. Picked up a Junji Ito. I
Junji
don't know.
Ito Collector's Cup at half price.
And then we got
Nerd
Nerd
is here. Says
101.
flower power. That's right.
Yes. We are all about that. You
Yeah.
need a vintage Nuru
Nuru
jacket. I
jacket.
don't know
Yeah.
what that is. Hey, David.
Yeah, David, it's Blue Splash.
Yeah, Mr. Saturday Night
This
Fever.
predates that. This is 1960s. And it's the real deal. It's made out of linen. It's got the buttons way up here. So in case you want to roll those sleeves all the way up, and you can button it up here. See the buttons?
Yeah.
And they're still there.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Yeah, I remember when Marsha got that broken nose. Severus is
No,
here.
I'm the one who throws the football. Yep, Severus has joined
We
us.
got Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Yeah.
Hey,
What's that?
you're at a convention. No,
No,
Gilgamesh, you think we go
not
to a
till September.
convention every
We're
week?
not at that level. If I had like a 500,000 subscribers and I could do this for a living, I'd go to every show I could find. But we can't. We can't quite pull that off.
No. Yeah, Dallas is very good. JR is hands down got to be the best villain on TV. I think
Oh,
next,
Jr.
yeah,
Yeah, Jr. Ewing.
I mean, I think he's even better than Victor Newman because I think the actor playing JR
He's
really
loving that.
enjoys
Yeah.
that role. I think he loves being a villain. I've never seen him in anything else. I know he was in what I Dream of Genie or Bewitched or one of
I
those
Dream of
shows,
Genie.
but I never saw it. I seen him in it, but I never watched it. But I know he was in it, and I've seen clips with him in it. I've never seen anything else he was in. He was in a movie we saw, and you didn't even know it was him. You couldn't even tell it was him. It was like
It
a
was.
scene in a movie.
Yeah, it was part two of the Blob, the original Blob.
Yeah, it
It
was
was a
part two.
early 70s.
Yeah.
They had a part two of the original 50s Blob.
And he was one of the
It
producers
was
or
bad.
directors
It was
of
bad.
it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was in it for like a scene. And I was looking for him. And then when it got to the scene with him, you're like, is that him? Because he had like a full on beard and he had looked heavier.
Yeah, and he was
Um,
drunk.
yeah.
and and he was in there with oh God, what is his
Hey,
name?
Jesse.
Yep.
I mean, yeah,
The
Jesse
art
say what?
formerly
Yeah, yeah,
known
yeah, yeah,
as Jesse Say What.
yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
was in there with oh God, what's his name? He used to play the Penguin on Batman.
I don't
Um,
know.
God, I can't. I'm drawing a blank. He
Mm-hmm.
was in that scene too.
Mm.
He was in that scene too.
Gilgamesh said that Marble used to send him stuff, dice, playing cards, dominoes,
Yeah.
pool table stuff. I was surprised with what they sent. Yeah.
Tommy didn't like those soap operas. Even Soap. Well, Soap was a comedy. It was a parody of soap operas. And Nostalgic said there were so many actresses who played Jenna Wade on
Really?
Dallas, Morgan Fairchild, Priscilla Presley,
We
and
on the
another one. Yeah.
Priscilla Presley years right now. She's the one, and her husband came back because Christian, what's the girl name? Pam's sister Catherine dug her husband up and got him to come back and do this whole thing. And now Pam think, oh, me and Bobby gonna get back together.
Screw Pam.
So she gonna try
JR is right about her.
and
She
JR's on Jenna's side. So JR's like, oh, I'll fix it. The place looks nice since you cleaned up. You should change things around, switching it up. We've talked about that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because I got out all of my vintage stuff.
unless I want to rotate a
Hmm.
lot of the stuff, there's no point. Or
Yeah.
unless I need to work something in, like the way that's set up back there, it's been
Mm.
sitting that way for a while and it works. You know.
Mm.
So Munin says, did you hear that apparently the Acolyte figures are already
Oh
starting to
yeah,
show
you
up at
said that.
Ollie's? Wow.
Whoa.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, the show got canceled, and that girl is very upset. But I
She's
can't.
raging, but
But I don't understand why. Because when the show was on, or right before it came on, I think she was on The View, or one of
I think
those
it was The
talk
View.
shows,
Yeah.
talking about how the point of the show is to piss off white men that love Star Wars. Okay, that was the point of the show. Say you, that's what you did, and now everybody hated it, and your show got canceled.
Yeah. And then you did that stupid diss track where you want to be rapped and no one can understand what you're saying
Yeah,
without the captioning. And so it's like, don't expect to work again anytime soon.
yeah. And I saw clips from it. I didn't see the show, but I saw clips. She
Mhm.
only had one facial expression. And I'm just like, it just didn't look good. And then I was watching it with what's that guy? Heels versus Babyface, and he give you the premise and he tells you the plot of every episode,
Yeah.
and the plots just seem so
There wasn't. He
ridiculous.
was frustrated because he didn't know what to tell you because he was like, nothing has happened. I'm 17 minutes in, and they're just walking around. What the hell's going on? And it's like, God, I know it. Nostalgic said Hagman got more hate mail than anyone on TV, and that's a sign of a great actor.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I mean, he played the heck out of that
You know what
role.
does it? When he sees whatever he set up unfolding, and he gets that
Mm-hmm.
he tries to hide that smile, and he's like,
Because it's only one time since we've been watching. I don't know what season we're on. I really don't know what season we're on. But one time he got bested by what's Miss Ellie's new beau when Sue Ellen was leaving JR,
mm-hmm.
and JR went to go get her, and the guy, I cannot think of his
Oh,
name right now.
They tried to he tried to snatch his son back, but the
Yeah,
guy had his people cut them off.
cut them off
Yeah.
at the airport,
Yeah.
and he came and got her and took her away, and then it was nothing JR could do about it.
Yeah.
And
Well, he's not going to get his hands dirty.
no, he's not going to.
He can't fight.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And he knows he can't fight. He always says, I can't fight.
Yeah.
You cannot use that thumbnail image of Kirk and Ura because
Uhura.
Kirk doesn't have the you got to use McCoy now.
Yeah, but McCoy's never with a pretty woman. So, I mean, it's always
hey,
Kirk.
Raccoon Eyes, how you doing?
Yeah.
And we got, who's that?
Metro Sky.
Hey,
has joined
Metro
us.
Sky, how are you? Great
We're
to
way
see.
behind here.
I know, great to see all of you. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule and spending it with us. Go ahead.
Gilgamesh spent $300 at Target on Ninja Turtle stuff because it's wow.
Why is it on clearance or something?
I hope
still
so.
Put things back. I also got a couple. Okay,
Yeah.
good. But at least you found something you wanted. And nowadays with toy hunting, that's kind of rare to find things that you want when you go to the store toy hunting. So I'm just glad you found something you really liked.
Yes.
I bought the Wonder Woman series on Blu-ray.
Okay.
I'm thinking about getting the Muppet Show. How many seasons did they have? Do you have Electric Company?
They had Muppets, I believe, had 5 seasons. You're only going to find 3 because they just could not work out the licensing with all the guests. Electric Company, you can find a best of series of the original 70s stuff. You can find a best of it's a box set. But you're not going to find all the episodes. The same thing with Sesame Street. There's just too many. Renard says, how do you guys like the original Outer Limits series? Do you think it was as good as Twilight Zone? Twilight Zone was better, but the original Outer Limits was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It was a good show.
We watched the original Twilight Zone and the 80s or 90s Twilight Zone. We watched the original Outer Limits and I guess it's the 80s or 90s
crossover
Outer Limits.
Well, of course, they weren't as good.
No. But Twilight Zone, like David said, I think is better than Outer Limits, but Outer Limits is really good.
It holds up.
Yeah. When you get to the 90s in both of them, it's the episodes are kind of hit or miss.
Very, especially with Outer Limits, is very hit or miss.
Outer Limits had they had one in particular that really stand out, the guy who couldn't get the brain implant.
That's a very important episode.
Yeah, that one was really good. But most of them were aliens coming to Earth, or they're on another planet.
And they kept trying to tie episodes together, and it got weird. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of each season, they would do like a recap. So it was like some government agency caught somebody, and then they went back and tried to tie every episode in to this one final moment. And it's like, okay, this is a stretch. How did that fit? And that made it kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would rather watch those than any brand new show that's on TV right now.
Yeah. And of course, you all know, the majority of you are aware we watch primarily vintage television.
Yeah.
So
but
there you go.
We will watch a modern show if it's got a good plot, is well acted, and it makes some kind of sense. It's not too vulgar. Like we were watching Reacher, and we actually like Reacher. The second season
Wasn't good.
wasn't horrible.
It wasn't. If I could watch the first, my criteria. I could watch that first season again.
Yeah.
Second season, I don't care. I really don't.
I don't know if I care to see any more just because how the actors been acting lately. But we like Reacher. We like Invincible. I think that's a good show. Those are the only real modern shows that we're watching. Everything else is kind of just older shows. I don't know who that is.
The and nostalgic reminds us that was Burgess Meredith that was in the Blob 2.
Okay.
In that one scene.
But
yeah, Burgess Meredith was a big deal.
Roughshod Stocks. He only seen the acolytes at Walmart.
Not in Ollie's yet.
It'll
get there. It'll get there. Haha. And Johnny says, and that's an honor to Larry Hagman because it showed he played the part very well. Same with heels in wrestling. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They hate those people. And that's what you want. And John says, Bing Crosby's daughter shot, say, JR.
Who, that Christian was Bing Crosby's daughter?
I'm not sure.
I know Christian shot JR. I don't know if she's Bing Crosby's daughter, though. But I know that's who shot JR.
Gilgamesh said, that's why I did it, because I knew it would be more to get it later from eBay. What I left behind had several of each. Yeah, with tax and shipping anyways. Yeah, that makes sense. And Munin saw Acolyte at GameStop on the floor, stepped on. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Somebody did that on purpose. And Darren is here from Minnesota. He says, always good discussions. I sure hope so.
We try to have a good time.
Raccoon said McCoy had a pretty girl with him in Shore Leave episode. Okay, yeah, well, I mean...
She turned out to be Salt Vampire.
Oh, yeah. Salt Vampire. And the Glaive of Krull is here.
What's the Grave of
the
Kull?
Glaive?
What's the Glaive of Kull?
That's that weapon in the icon from the movie Kull.
I never saw Kull.
You did see Kull with me.
Kull.
Yeah, it's the one with Liam, one of the few films where you see Liam Neeson die. And then Big Lots Raccoon saw Marvel G.I. Joe and Motu figures.
We haven't been to Big Lots in a long time.
There's no point.
Every time we go to Big Lots for something in particular, they never have it. So we end up getting it on Amazon.
And Toy Binging
said,
what are your thoughts about Air Raiders toy line? It hit at that time when post-apocalyptic stuff from the 80s was popular. It's a cool line. It's the one with it's got the 2-inch figures, right?
2 inches.
Who else? Like Starcom figures and like even Mask figures are in that size category.
Yeah.
And was it Starcom? I want to say was another one. Oh, I said Starcom
you got
already.
Starcom
Oh,
right
I do.
Here,
do I? Yeah, here's some stuff. That's a play set though. There's no figures in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a cool line. It's one of those lines that flies under the radar. People don't think about it.
I don't think I ever heard of that one.
Jason the Wheeled Warriors is in that scale as well. Those are tough to find though. The Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Yeah, and they're very expensive.
Pretty popular series. That's why.
Yeah,
and
it was a good show.
Well drawn and good storytelling in it. Although
good voice acting.
People never figured out what happened because of the whole fiasco with Optimus Prime.
Yeah, they ended that, and then Dad didn't care about no Jace. He was like, okay, bye.
Oh no, he ghosted Jace.
He did, and it's like the boy was flying all over the universe looking for you.
Dad, and then Dad, he was always one step behind. Dad, I had to go, couldn't wait any longer, but I had to go.
Couldn't wait on your son.
Had to get a pack of cigarettes. I'll be back. Yeah, Jason, I've talked about it before. That Hasbro had this brilliant idea. We'll end every series with a film in the theaters. They did Transformers in the theaters. Everybody was mad because of Optimus.
Yeah, they killed Optimus.
It was the best writing they ever did in Transformers in that movie. And the continuity was good.
Yeah.
The motion, there was no choppy motion or weirdness like in the show. And the music was better. But then, because first season Transformer, the music music is terrible. Second season, they used the music from GI Joe.
We're on the second
Yeah,
season of
the
Transformers right
music's
now.
gotten better. The writing is still terrible. It's like it's written for a 5-year-old audience.
It's not.
It's bad.
It's not as bad as I was expecting. Okay, I'll say it like
Okay,
that
okay.
because I honestly was expecting it to be a lot worse because I remember watching it as a kid, but I don't remember the show. I remember the characters and I remember watching it, but they actually got like a little story going on. They got some things going on, and I'm like, oh man, okay, it's actually something going
Yeah,
on here. It's just not Decepticons and
yeah.
Autobots shooting at each other, and that's it.
Although mostly that's what it is.
That's all it
But
is. But it is
and not
something
hitting
going.
anything. They're 2 feet in front of each
Yeah,
other, can't
and they
hit a damn
can't hit
thing.
nothing.
But then that they were going to do the same thing with GI Joe, and there's a GI Joe movie.
Yeah,
Duke was supposed to die. They altered the ending, and Jason the Wheeled Warriors. Everybody was supposed to die too. Dad was going to die. Sawboss was going to die. The old man, I think, was supposed to die, and they didn't get past the script because it was like, all right, we're up to our eyeballs in like hate mail because of Optimus. We're not going to even do this, and so they never finished Jace.
yeah. A lot of collectors and resellers are after those NECA Archie stump wrestling turtles and other characters from that line at Target. I never seen that. The
Hmm.
Archie whatever.
I'm not sure.
I've never seen that. My Target had collector's edition figures of Knuckles from Sonic.
Sonic.
It looked nice, but it was way oversized and couldn't justify $50 for a Jax figure. Maybe if it was Shadow, I would have bought it.
And then
Mm.
Robert's, what about One Step Beyond? Yeah, we used to watch
One
that
Step
show.
Beyond was good.
One Step Beyond was all right. Some of it, and so a lot of that was loosely based on a true story.
Yeah, yeah,
And Future Drawing said Twilight Zone is goated. There are some great Outer Limits episodes, however.
yeah,
True.
yeah, yeah. Hey, William
William
Randall,
has joined us
how are you?
as well as David Whited Arcade and Toy Channel wants to know
Yeah,
how everybody's doing and that he will be live streaming
yeah.
tonight.
David has a channel,
Mhm.
a YouTube channel. He does a lot of live streaming and stuff like that. So check him out if you got a chance.
Oh, and Nostalgic's warning us that the Blu-ray for Wonder Woman was supposed to be remastered, and they did not do it.
Oh,
It's got the same flaws.
what flaws were that? Was
I'm
that?
not sure, but whatever flaws are in the original DVDs are still in the Blu-ray.
Oh,
And Nerd says Twilight Zone's cool. It's classic.
yeah. For $18, I found today the Adams Family. Wow,
Really?
you
That's not
can't
bad.
beat that.
That's
For
not bad.
$12, I got a record player.
A vintage one. And
It
it's
ain't
running.
vintage. It's from like
It's
the 2000s.
it's you don't know when it's from.
I looked it up.
Oh, did you?
But
Okay.
the thing that got me with it, I was at Value Village, and I'm like, oh man, a record player. Looked at the price. Oh, for $12, I can take it home to see if it worked because it has to be connected to an amplifier.
Yeah.
So I had something in one hand, and I went to pick it up, and I'm like, man, this thing is heavy, because I was thinking about like the
Modern
record,
ones.
the record player that I got from Amazon. The thing doesn't even weigh a pound. This thing weigh like 10 pounds.
That solid state stuff is heavy.
Yeah.
John wants to know what we think about the original Taxi show.
Oh, I
That's
remember.
classic comedy.
I remember that show, but I remember not liking
Oh,
it
you were
when it was
little.
on. Yeah, I was young. I was little,
You were
so I
little.
don't remember. I don't know. Well, I know that it was a taxi station or whatever.
Yeah.
Taxi
They worked at
drivers
the
company.
Sunshine Cab Company.
Yeah, but that's it. But I remember not caring for it like all that.
Andy Kaufman ruined that show.
Oh, did he?
He did. Well, his antics outside of the show was too much for them. It was
Yeah,
too much it was too much for them.
I got that on my saved on Prime to watch from.
Mm-hmm.
That's with Chris Rock, and it's supposed to be like a thriller almost.
Okay.
I do have that to watch. I saw the one with Martin Lawrence. I don't know the name of it. It came out about a year or two ago. Him and another girl, I can't remember. But anyway, the guy, he was in prison and he could send out his spirit to another person. and it was a serial killer going around,
Hmm.
and they couldn't figure out who it was. They knew it was this guy, but they were like, it can't be him because he's locked up in prison. And then they figured out, oh, he's able to send his,
Project,
yeah, project his
astral project.
spirit out.
It's the same plot from that film. I can't remember, from the '90s with
Hmm.
John Goodman.
Yeah, you were telling me about
Yeah,
that.
and oh God, what is his name?
I don't know.
Played Blade.
Oh,
Wesley
Wesley
Snipes.
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah, it was. There was a film that was similar to that.
I like Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt. I really want to see
Hmm.
Tales from the. I want or have it on DVD. Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Dark Side, because I used to love Tales from the Dark Side. Freddy's Nightmare and Jason. Jason had one. I can't remember what the
Okay.
one named for Jason, but I know it was Freddy's Nightmare, which Freddy Krueger wasn't in at all. But that one, those four, I would like to have those on DVD. But I really like Tales from the Dark Side, though. I thought that one was creepy, especially that guy's voice. And we just saw a show. It was Buck Rogers, the guy, the very last episode, that was the voice from Tales from Dark Side, because I remember telling you, hey, I recognize that voice, and it's the narrator from the beginning
Okay.
of
Yeah,
Tales
he
from
had
the
a good
Dark Side.
voice.
Yeah, he had a really good voice.
And
They were from the planet where everybody looked the same. Hey,
yes,
Christopher,
Christopher's joined us.
it's been a while. Uh, it's been a while. You guys been doing all right? Yeah, we've been doing. You know how things go. Life throws you a monkey wrench, but you just keep on going. You
Yeah, and
know.
the wrench hits you in the head.
Yeah, but you just get up, brush yourself off, drink some water, and keep on going.
Water.
Yeah,
Put some Windex on it.
yeah.
Tussin.
Tussin cures everything.
Yeah, I know. They did the Windex is actually from My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, okay, I never saw
The
that.
guy wanted to spray Windex on everything. Nostalgic says the two partner recaps and pre-opening credits season 2 trailers were cut from the Blu-ray DVD. Those cut moments are on the Columbia House VHSs.
Oh yeah, Columbia House is the best. You remember when you used to get what 10 VCR tapes for $1, and then you would get cassette tapes. Then they moved to CDs and
Yeah, but then you had to buy an X number for full price, and
yeah.
especially when you were talking VHS cassettes, you're paying 90,
You nobody ever
120 a
paid
piece
full
for them.
price for that. You just kept changing the name.
Mm.
That's what everybody did. Meyer has discontinued what? Wow.
Well,
Only a matter of time before Walmart and Target does the same. I think by the time wow, we won't be able to buy it. You'll still be able to get
keep
it
in
on like
mind,
eBay and Amazon, I
yeah,
think.
well, keep in mind that, I mean, even computers don't come with disk drives anymore.
That's
You
true.
know,
You gotta
they're moving us away
yeah.
from that. We're moving away from all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Ain't nothing you
Nothing
can
we
do.
can do.
I remember
As we
when
try to
JR got
catch
shot.
some of
It
those
was the
back up.
headline back in the day. I know it was the headline. Everybody, and they had like trailers
Who
for
shot
the
JR?
next season. Who shot JR? And they tried to make you think everybody shot JR. Miss Ellie shot JR. Sue Ellen, Bobby, Daddy shot JR. Everybody shot JR. And then by the time you got to it, they made you think, okay, Sue Ellen did it. And then they played that for a while. Then you got to know it was Christian. You're like, huh? She did it. Then they had to go through that. I did pre-order the Aculite figures from Amazon, the
Padawan.
Padawan girl, just cause she's a random Padawan. She's already dropped in price twice, and I said,
Still has not
yeah,
shipped.
but Amazon is going to give you the new price. That's the only good thing about it. They're
Yeah,
going to keep
that's true.
dropping the price for you.
And McCoy Got Married season 3 says nostalgic. For the world is hollow and I have touched the sky. Oh yeah, that's when he thought he was dying, right? And did we like the Nitro versus Raw DVD? Says Renard. We haven't watched it yet.
No, not
Haven't had a
yet.
chance to watch it yet.
They got to work that in.
Yeah, but I know Johnny reminds us the glaive. Everybody wants a prop of the glaive, and nobody's done it officially. Nobody has done it officially.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Stone Sour
Yay,
made a
Stone
donation to
Sour.
the
Thank
channel. Thank you. Goes a
you.
long way
It
towards
does.
helping us.
All them darn cats.
Yeah, 20 of them that we're sheltering right now.
Yeah.
It gets up there. It's expensive to take care of all those critters. Now, something I wanted to run over, and you can look through and get past the side conversations there.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert says, what does Optimus have to do with Jason the Wheeled Warriors?
Nothing.
It was the format. They wanted to end all three of those shows with a feature-length film in theaters. But because they got so much hate mail from Optimus's death, they altered the ending of G.I. Joe, where Duke lives instead of dies.
Yeah, even
And
though you
then
never saw him again.
Jace had not got to print yet. So they weren't drawing it yet. They just had the script laid out. And they said, let's just shelf this completely. But they never got back to it. That's why. Now, on the yesterday's roundup, okay, yesterday's roundup, there's the whole fiasco with what I talked about with Super 7 and their Sesame Street action figures, okay? And I was saying that the artwork, I'm disappointed in the artwork, and in particular disappointed with the way that they did the Mr. Hooper. I appreciate that they did Mr. Hooper because I don't think he's been done since Fisher-Price Little People, the Little Peg People, right? And someone had pointed out that they believed in the comment section that it was an attempt to do a homage to Big Bird's picture, because Big Bird did a sketch of Mr. Hooper. And so, and I went and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Let me look. And I looked at it, and you could see where they might have gotten some inspiration from Big Bird's sketch. It doesn't look like that, though. Not only that, but it's a bust. It's a bust done in rough pencil with Big Bird's signature on it. And they did a full color, like full body of Mr. Hooper standing there. And I'm like, nah, it may be. Oh, is that Trevor? Hey, Trevor, how you doing?
We see. Oh yeah, Trevor's
Trevor,
right
there.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to clarify that yeah, you can see where, looking at it, and I'll bring it up again on the next roundup, that they made someone may have made an attempt to homage that picture because it ties in with the death episode from Sesame Street, okay? But it doesn't cut it. Now, if they had put that picture, if they had put the original sketch, I know what that is. You would have picked up on it. But the artwork, to me, just doesn't cut it, because that's not the kind of Sesame Street artwork I'm used to.
Oh, David.
And I've been disappointed with their artwork all the way around, and certain things you can get away with because they're rudimentary enough. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Big Bird, you can just draw Big Bird, but that's not the way that they used to draw these characters for these stories. Now, like this right here, this is an 80s storybook. Look at the detail. There's a lot of detail there. That is what you expect from Sesame Street art from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Not what Super 7's doing. And Super 7 is cutting corners. And I'm like, all their other artwork is really good on those. I mean, look at the G.I. Joe stuff that they've done. Look at the worst action figures. And even, I even can give them a pass. And I said this yesterday, where they do photos, because the whole concept of reaction figures is supposed to be a homage to 80s action figures, period. So they did. Kenner used to do it all the time, photo card art. But this, I expect more from my Sesame Street art. I know I'm being hard ass.
You are.
I'm being a hard ass.
You're being way extra right now.
Yeah, I'll show you way extra. See what I mean? There's a lot going on there. That's pretty good. And this is one of my favorites, actually. This is from the Sesame Street Book Club. Big Bird Joins the Carnival. This is a must read. Okay, this is in your must read category. Big Bird is kidnapped in this book.
Big Bird didn't get kidnapped.
He got kidnapped.
He sold himself.
No. He didn't know what he was getting himself into. And
he stayed his behind.
And they kidnapped him, and they painted him blue. Should I tell you what happens?
No, let them find it.
Should I tell people what happens in this
Mm-mm.
story? Who wants to know how the hell he gets kidnapped? As we try to catch up to wherever we should be here, because I know people are a lot of that is side conversation though. We got to watch out because I don't want to read people's side conversation. Let them talk to each other.
The haunted antique.
Yeah. Oh, that's Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Munin says congratulations on hitting 11,000. Yeah, we are at past the 11,000 mark.
Yeah, it didn't have Jason in it, the Friday the
But yeah, that
13th.
was a good show. It was that was a Canadian show, and he inherited it from, like, his brother died, but he was into the occult and everything was.
Hey LP.
Hey LP, do you like the new Creep Show series on Shudder? Haven't seen it.
No, we haven't seen it. But
he inherited it, found out his brother was into the
hey
occult,
James.
sold all of this cursed stuff, and he was on a mission to find it all and get it back. So pre-orders are shipping Man Thing from Marvel and Subutai from Conan the Barbarian by Super 7, says James.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not ordering the Man Thing.
I know somebody wants to know how the hell he got kidnapped. And Munin says no physical media, barely at Target or Walmart.
Our Walmart got a bunch.
Yeah, but not like it used to be.
Not like it used to be, but they're still got like
down.
a half an aisle.
Yeah, they're whittling it down.
Yeah, they are.
As we Maggie Simpson shot Mr. Burns.
Hello, Donald.
Donald has joined us. What's the topic?
We
all over the place.
Random.
We are all over the place.
I got House of C. Oh,
first appearance of Swamp Thing from
William. I like the story of Swamp Thing from House of Secrets. Mm-hmm. When it got to the Swamp Thing book, the self-titled, they changed the origin. But I like the way it was in House of Secrets.
Okay.
I wish they had kept that. I wish they had kept that origin and ran with that. I mean, you still could have done everything, but his wife was alive and she married another guy. The guy, burned him up and everything in a House of Secrets. Okay. So I kind of wish they had kept that one. I thought it was pretty good. Hey, Reston
has joined us.
How you doing?
Catch up here.
Yeah, we way behind.
And it said Gilgamesh said the show community did a G.I. Joe parody. It was funny. One guy actually killed Destro, and everyone stopped fighting, saying you can't actually kill anyone. I think I saw that clip. I saw a clip of that. And at least they're making Mr. Hooper, says Robert. Yeah, and that's my point. I get credit for doing figures that haven't been done. The art pisses me off.
For me, is the only reason. That is true. I understand it being important. That is true. I mean, the artwork really changes the name of the game for a reaction, because other than that, it's just a 3 3/4 figure. It's just like whatever. But the artwork does draw you in. I know the one from G.I. Joe was really nice because it really reminded you of the original G.I. Joe. And they did good with all of the others, but the Sesame Street one, I admit, it does look kind of lazy, but showcase the Buzzer, Pluto, theatrical, but costumes, music,
the modern shows are garbage. I can't watch them.
It's so much lights and loud music. Yeah. Big Bird got.
Says Saturday Morning
that's
Fan.
Follow That Bird. No, that's not on Follow That Bird. Follow That Bird was something else. I don't know if he got kidnapped and Follow That Bird.
Robert wants to know what the hell happened to him.
He sold himself to the carnival. That's what happened. He wanted to go to the carnival and be in the carnival, so he sold himself. And it was like, oh, okay. And then they locked him up in a big bird cage.
Yeah. David says, I hope the gentleman who sent you the Sesame Street calendar, you didn't like that art on the calendar compared to the 70s calendar. No, I appreciate that he sent it.
Yeah.
But it really just, the contrast between the art on the two just really struck me. I was like, you know, you compare the 70s one to the 1978 to the 2024 one, and the 2024 one, it's AI generated. You know, so I'm like, there's no depth to it at all. There's no artistic value. It's just a calendar. And I'm like, wow, you know, they don't try anymore. You know,
Mm-mm.
it's nothing against the person who sent it at all.
No. Do you know what show that was with the boy wish for all the money in the world?
I don't remember.
Oh, somebody else had a question, and God, I don't think I'm gonna ever find it again now. But they wanted to know. I don't remember.
Though they can ask again.
Yeah, I
Munin
hope
says
so.
Super 7 on David's bad side screwing up the artwork. It seems Super 7's been cutting more corners on the Joes, and
Yeah.
they're in clearance at Walmart, complete with destroyed boxes. Yeah, and
Yes.
no outer boxes either. And Nostalgic says he can't even get 500 subs. And of course, Nostalgic Pod Blast does have a channel.
Yes.
And he's been a guest here a couple
Two
of times. Yeah,
times.
he's been a guest
I
in
had
the
the
live
views,
stream,
but the
not the
subs.
subs. Oh, here they're all going now. I want to know what happened to.
No.
I
To Dave Thomas and follow that
don't
bird.
remember Follow That Bird.
I
Okay.
remember there is a follow that bird. I think I have that book, but the book he's
Here.
talking about. Well, wait a
The
minute.
Carnies
Is Big Bird joins the
joins the carnival,
carnival.
and the he goes out to the circus, whatever, and the Carnies, they kidnap him and they paint him blue and they put him in a big cage and stick him in the sideshow. And now he's the bluebird of happiness. You see him locked in the cage. and they're making money hand over fist off of Big Bird's misery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then, old Snuffy, while they're counting their money, old Snuffy gets the drop on him. You see him stealing the keys there?
Mm-hmm.
And rescues Big Bird and gets him back to Sesame Street.
He shouldn't have sold himself.
He didn't know that they were going to do that to him.
Yeah, well.
He don't know what the hell's going on. And the Sesame Street gang gave him a bath and washed all the blue paint off. But he got kidnapped.
Frankenfrog was thinking about getting that Amanda Steinberg figure, acolyte figure.
Okay.
You gonna get the Hot Toys? Because Hot Toys gonna come out.
Oh God, are
it.
they?
They got to.
They
might. Already started tooling it. My target has been getting
K-pop stuff. It's become
wow.
a big part of the CD selection. Interesting.
Hey,
Art Star Confidential has
how
joined us today. And he says, I hope the guys in Butt heard about the Sesame Street calendar. I doubt it.
I hope not, because we didn't mean anything bad.
No, it's nothing personal. It's
we just did a comparison.
Yeah, a comparison to the old style versus what they're doing now.
Sent you in an unboxing video, yeah.
And Snuffleupagus, yeah. What's next now, Snuffleupagus? Well, they can see him now, so the magic's gone. And Severus said Hooper's death was the first time a children's show talked openly about it. Sesame Street was always ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they did a good job acting on that too, if I remember correctly, the way that they looked.
Might still be seen continually. I know there were many Swamp Things, not just Alec Holland. Yeah.
When he was like, but why can't Mr. Hooper come back? And they're standing there looking at each other and you see the expressions on their face like, holy crap, he doesn't get it. How the hell are we going to explain this to him? That just the looks on their faces like, wow, Big Bird, okay. And worked their way through it.
Mm-hmm.
Worked their way through it. Okay, Saturday morning he got kidnapped against his will and they had to rescue him in a car chase. I don't think I've seen Follow That Bird. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And Reston said, "Do you see the news? The comic restoration guy was arrested." That's right. They found him because they've been looking for him because he took off with everybody's books. But apparently,
$300,000.
What I don't understand is how he was getting business anyways. Because I've seen major complaints about his before and after stuff,
and it's bad.
They were real bad. I mean, people sending him like a 5. And getting back a book that when they graded it was a 1.5 because he wrecked it so bad. Expensive stuff like Batman 7 and things like that. And it's like, oh my God, he was doing terrible work on some of these books. And I'm like, I know what it is too, because and that's cleaning and pressing. You don't want restoration too much. You really don't. What he was doing was taking the books apart and putting them through a peroxide bath. I'll tell you right now, just looking at him, and he didn't do it right, and
Mm,
the books were dissolving. That
mm.
peroxide's bad for that stuff. Um, I always stay away from peroxide. I don't use it. It makes the paper brittle anyway.
Hmm.
So you're really downgrading the book. You'll encapsulate it and think it looks all pretty and stuff, and then over time the discoloration will come back. The paper will start crumbling. You ruined the book. Swamp Thing and Man Thing, they the same? Not really.
Their origin, well, I don't know. They a little bit, but no. Like Swamp Thing, he was a chemist and created this serum to help with plant growth. And somebody tried to steal it. It spilled on him. He jumped in the swamp because he got on fire. But he was on fire
Yeah.
and then turned into the Swamp Thing. Man Thing was a chemist and he was working on this grow serum to make super soldiers, and somebody was chasing him, and he had like the last vial and injected himself, jumped into the swamp and turned into the Man Thing. But Man Thing didn't have a mind. He couldn't think, he couldn't feel. All well, he could feel emotion. Swamp Thing, he could still think.
Swamp Thing's like a philosophy major.
Yeah, he could still think and act and reason and do all that. He couldn't really talk because it hurt his throat too much. Man Thing couldn't do anything. He didn't even have a mouth. He didn't know anything. He was mindless. So, but in some ways they're kind of like almost the same. I like Man Thing, I think, better.
Okay.
You felt sorrier for Man Thing
Sure.
because he couldn't express anything. He couldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
All he felt was emotion, and
And reacted to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
he reacted, and fear just hurt him so much. He had to get rid of the fear, so he burned you.
Yeah. And of course, he who knows fear burns at the touch of
Touch
the
of the
Man
Man
Thing.
Thing.
Saturday morning, letting us know here that Follow the Bird was their first
Oh, really?
cinematic release.
Had Chevy Chase, John Candy, and more.
Yeah.
Wow. I
And
didn't know that was in the movie.
and Nerd said, "Do you collect old wax pack trading cards?" I used to have a big collection. It was part of the collection I lost. I had
Mm,
like the unopened boxes: Kiss, Elvis, Space 1999,
hmm.
Star Wars, all kinds of stuff. Unopened boxes that I had collected over the years. Pac-Man, all whatever I could find, because I had this idea of like making a display with it. I must have had
Oh,
like 30 different. I forget all what they were, but they're gone. And Nostalgic wants to know if Big Bird is a monster. No, he's a bird. He eats birdseed.
does he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
He eats birdseed. He's always buying birdseed from Hooper's store.
oh, okay. I
Mm,
know he slept in that big old nest
big
at the
nest.
end of Sesame Street.
Yes. And Frank and Frog, remember the Muppet movie where Big Bird made a cameo? Yeah, he was hitchhiking or something, right? He was on the road. And Johnny said, "Who remembers Charlie's Restaurant on Sesame Street? Grover was the waiter." Oh yeah,
He
he was.
always got the orders
Or
wrong.
that guy was a big baby though. The guy that was always complaining, "There's no letter C in my alphabet soup." Shut up. Give me a break. Gilgamesh says, "I never get books cleaned or pressed, even though I have a few that need them. I'm paranoid about
Yeah,
something's going to happen to them." Yeah, you need somebody who knows what they're doing,
yeah.
like me. No, I do clean and press. That's
It's
why I
sad.
say that.
It's hilarious about the failed comic book restoration
Yeah,
guy.
but they caught him, and he had stolen hundreds of $1,000s
Yeah,
worth of
like
people's
three
books,
hundred thousand dollars
and
worth of
what he
books.
didn't steal, he ruined.
Yeah.
And people, he was known and trusted in the community. I'm like, how can you work on a guy's book who it was an 8, and then when they get it back, it's in a condition of a 2?
Yeah.
It's literally, they were showing examples.
Yeah, because they showed like before and after examples.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell did he do to it?
Ooh, yeah.
It was
It
ruined.
looked real bad.
Yeah.
It was sad to even
I'm sure
to
it was.
see the
I'm
book.
sure he submerged them in peroxide baths. That had to be what he did. And like he'd never, like I said, I don't worry. I don't do anything that would get you anything but a blue label.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get a purple label out of me because I don't, I don't use peroxide. I'm not using UV light. I'm not changing staples. I'm not doing anything
Yeah.
sneaky. Just clean it up and press it nice and flat. And everybody's happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt the book. I've done it for Johnny Future. Johnny
Hmm.
Future has sent me books before. He'll tell you.
Man Thing was a Marvel and came before Swamp Thing, who was DC. Both were copies of the Heap
An
and
older
older.
character.
Oh, I never heard of the Heap. Man
And
Thing first appearance was in Savage Tales #1 magazine over three
3 months.
months before.
But and those two guys, the
Hmm.
writers for both of those knew each other
Yeah,
anyways. So there had to be some collaboration in there.
yeah. But Man Thing, his story is good.
Uh,
Swamp Thing's story is good. It's just like the origin, like who they are a little bit, the origin a little bit is
mhm.
kind of the same. They were both scientists. They both got some of the chemicals that they were working with on them, and it became this swamp creature or whatever. Because Man Thing was basically like a swamp creature too, and but after that they kind of split off, and one went one way and one
Yeah,
went the other. But they're both really good reads. They're really good stories, I thought.
yeah.
I am not a fan of slabbing comic books. I can't read a hunk of I'm with you there, Chance. I want my books loose and free.
And Blue Splash said, "Do we like the Toy Biz Marvel Legends?" Yeah, the original Toy Biz, the ones from the '90s. And the thing with those is
Yeah.
now Marvel, or rather Hasbro, makes homage carded figures that look like the old Toy Biz, but the original Toy Biz ones are cheaper. X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, whatever. You can still get most of them for less than the modern ones. I'd rather have the ones from the '90s.
Yeah, Man Thing almost got cured, but then got
Hmm.
distracted and took his arm out. But he was turning back into a man. Swamp Thing got cured for a minute too, and then he reverted back to the swamp creature.
Well, you got to pull that okey doke on people.
Yeah, cause like, oh man, he's gonna get healed because he had put his hand in the cube, and then his hand started changing back, and he kept going, and then got distracted. He heard a noise, turned around, and then by the time everything got finished, he forgot what he was doing and walked away.
Yeah.
Sad. That was sad.
Oh, well, that's the name of the game with that character. And
Hey, Joseph.
Joseph reminds us he's a really big bird.
Yep,
That's right.
that's what Big Bird
I'm
is.
just a big bird. That's right. And Johnny said customer's name at Charlie's restaurant was Mr. Johnson, a balding, mustachioed customer, always frustrated at Grover's bumbling service. That guy, yeah, I know. He was that guy could throw a pity party too.
Oh, did they? I didn't know they had any big screen movies. Oh, Elmo. I know I wouldn't watch that.
No, anything from the Elmo period on, I
Abby
can't.
in
I can't
Wonderland.
do it.
Mm-mm.
I can't do it.
I would watch Follow That Bird, but that's it. The original Star Wars movies is your favorite.
Which of the original? Probably Empire. Probably Empire Strikes Back. And Johnny says, I hope they make Mr. Johnson reaction. That's possible.
Well, they're doing a lot of the
Hmm.
ones they have, and I wish they do the other characters like Linda and Olivia and Maria and all of them.
And Gilgamesh wants to know if Snuffleupagus was originally a hallucination. No, he was a real character, and the gag was that he'd take off.
Mm-hmm.
His mother would call him, and then he'd have to go or whatever, and then they'd look around. Oh, I don't see a big a big
Elephant.
basically woolly mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
Where okay, Big Bird.
Everybody thought Big
Yeah,
Bird was making it up.
yeah. You live in a neighborhood with furry monsters, but you don't believe there's a Snuffleupagus. Okay, that makes sense.
Because I remember as a kid, after a while, I thought, well, maybe that is Big Bird imagination because
Uh huh.
nobody ever saw it. Big Bird would turn around, and by the time he turned back around, Snuffleupagus was gone
Yeah.
and all of that. And then you always felt bad for Big Bird because nobody believed.
And he had done sleepovers and met his Snuffleupagus's mom and everything.
Yeah.
Munin wants to know how come nothing can make Nightwing cool. What don't you like? I don't know. I just never really cared for Nightwing. I just I just never could get into that.
Who's this
Oh
restoration guy
God,
you're
what was
talking
his
about?
name?
I don't know his name.
Nostalgic. Put his name on here.
I don't know his name, but I saw the video.
I can't
Swaggle
remember.
House did a
Did a
video.
video
I'm
on
pretty
it.
sure a bunch of other channels did one too.
Mhm.
But we saw the one on Swaggle House, and he showed like all of the before and after stuff, um, and the different books, and they weren't like punk books either. There were some big boy books, and he
Yeah,
just ruined them.
he did. And Blue Splash got the Dick Tracy flat top from Mezco. Yeah, those I imagine they probably were. Like Mezco could be hit or miss, but when they do those kind of properties, they do a better job. They do a
Yeah.
much better job. Like I've got the Popeye Stormy Seas. It's a fun set. I like that one.
Yeah, I don't know anything about comic restoration stuff. I
Yeah.
just like reading them. I mean, I don't know. I like my books the way it is. I buy them knowing the condition they're in. You know what I mean? If I
Hmm.
buy a book and it has a chunk missing, I bought it like that. And I
Yeah.
know I bought it like that. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. People get the pages cut down. They want the rusty staples out and
No.
put in a clean staple.
See, that's
I'm like,
restoration.
dude, if
That's
you want that, don't. I mean, I understand
yeah.
why you buy it that way because it's cheaper. Okay, I'm gonna buy this book with these rusty staples, and I'll just take these staples out and put some clean ones in there. It's like, man, just be happy you got it.
Yeah.
That's my attitude. But hey, it's your money, spend it your way.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's your money, spend it your way. But I buy the book knowing, okay, I'm buying this Spider-Man number 50. It got a crease on the front. Hey, I got it cheap. I'm fine. Press it out a little bit. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna
Yeah.
clean it. We're gonna press it. We're not doing nothing else. If
No.
them staples rusted, they're gonna
Leave
stay
it. Yeah.
rusty.
Like I said, I don't do a restoration. Just cleaning and
Yeah.
pressing. Saturday morning said Superman, Batman, Droids, Pink Panther, Jughead,
Really?
Simpsons, and MC Scat Cat were all on Sesame Street. So was James Earl Jones. That was interesting.
Erica Badu was on
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of people. Scat. Oh, no, who was it?
Yeah, it is vintage. We got it today from Value Village.
Yeah, this is the real deal. This is from the '60s. This is the
Move
real.
that so
This
you
is
can
the this is the real thing. But yeah, James Earl Jones was on there, and they recognized him from Star Wars. And even what's her name was like, "May the Force be with you," and he's like. Johnny says David has done terrific work. The books look very, very nicely pressed and takes care of it while he has it in his possession. Thank you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I tried.
Okay, Chris. Thanks for stopping
He's
by.
gonna go watch wrestling.
Okay, gonna watch elite wrestlers, the Donna's Rock.
But yeah, I don't want to mess up somebody's book.
No.
They trusted me to clean and press it for them. I don't want to mess it up. I'm very careful. I try.
Yeah. Man Thing made friends with Spider-Man. He's run into a couple of people in Incredible Hulk. He ran into the Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man. That's how I first was introduced. Okay, no, that's not. I knew Spider-Man from watching the movies and never liked him. But then I read him in Man Thing, and I'm like, this is not the same Spider-Man as the movies. And I liked him in the Man Thing
book
books.
format. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't like some bumbling teenager just out wilding out and doing all that. He made sense. He was responsible and all of that. And I liked him there. Yeah, he met a couple of people he ran into. It was some good stories, good tie-ins. Follow That Bird did have Jim Henson working on it, and Kermit was
Of course, have to have Jim Henson back then. And then Tommy says Oscar the Grouch, was originally orange, and he had Sam the Robot. Now, a lot of people don't even remember Sam the Robot. Robert likes Nightwing.
Nightwing wasn't bad.
Nightwing is
was
lame.
cool.
Lame wing. Chicken wing. Nerd says, I often buy loose figures to enjoy and not have to feel guilty about keeping them mint. Frank and Frog, why does every movie toy line get new sculpt besides the movie Small Soldiers? Because they know you'll buy the next one.
Yep.
You'll buy it again.
And a new Teen Titans 44 from 1984. How can it be 40 years since
I don't know
then?
what to tell you, man. You got old. And yeah, Saturday morning said Jim Mint did a video also. I'm not
Oh, on
surprised.
the guy that,
Probably, yeah,
yeah,
because that's big in the comic industry
yeah.
right now.
Hey, Fabio,
Fabio
how are
has
you?
joined
Good to
us,
see you too.
and I love the '80s.
I love the 80s.
Always enjoy all your videos and appreciate your content.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank
Much
you.
appreciated. We love the
Yes.
80s too. We need to go back.
I know.
We need to go back.
Don't eat the pictures.
Yeah, Joseph says cast of Sesame Street gets locked in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and
Oh.
they search for Big Bird. I don't remember that.
How come they always looking for Big Bird? How does Big Bird always get lost?
Because even though he's like 160 years old, he acts like he's like 5. So everybody's always looking for him and trying to watch out for him. They Johnny says the only time I got something with rusty staples was a Mad magazine or Cracked magazine. I took the staples out and replaced in the exact same place. It's not like these magazines are high value anyways, only number 1.
Yeah, but people get all in their feelings
Yeah.
about that because I see the videos where people will get a comic book and it's an old comic book and it's like a like a 8 or a 7 and it's fine. Nope, we're gonna take it out and we're gonna get it redone, and then they open it up and find out that there's a sticker missing, and now they got a 4. And they're like, why did you do that? All I wanted to do is get it reholstered.
Oh well.
You should have been happy with what you had, but that's your money.
I want to get an updated slab, you know what I mean?
I want to get that new label. This is the old label.
Hey, you know what?
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna say it. The CGC's custom labels are horrible. They're ugly. I can't stand them. The EGS has good custom labels. A lot of people, if they even know who EGS is.
No,
but,
that guy gets no love.
No, at least
Tony.
he tries. Here's the thing. Okay. Yeah, he's on the bottom of the barrel for grading companies, but he did that, and he's basically doing it himself. The reason that he did that is because he was not happy with the way the grading companies handled things. And instead of crying about it, he went out. Oh, and Ghost Junk has joined us. He went out and tried to do something about it. Got to give him at least that much. Seriously, you got to give him at least that much. And if he screws something up, he'll fix it because he has replaced things for people.
And Wrestling say you do fantastic cleaning and pressing on.
Well, thank you. I try. I try. I've got a lot of experience with it.
70s and 80s era Spider-Man in the comic who married Mary Jane.
Blah. Mary Jane, screw her.
Yeah,
Mary Jane.
I do have a couple of Spider-Man comic books. They're the older ones. Like number 75, a couple of the number 90s in there. So those eras, I'm not sure what year they came out, but I'm sure they came out either late 60s, early 70s. But like I said, whatever they got going on in the movies, that Spider-Man, I wasn't
it's
liking.
Not the same. Yeah, it's not the same.
And that's what I saw first. So it caused me to not like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because that's what I saw first. And I never read comic books until a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I love Sam the Robot. I hope they make a reaction figure.
They should make a figure of him. I don't know that anything's ever been made with Sam.
How
quite frankly.
Series turned out. The figure that released in the Marvel Legends Iron Man Retro Wave seems to be the best seller.
Well, because it looks like the classic one. And Gilgamesh likes Red Hood, his favorite Robin.
Oh yeah.
That was after he was resurrected.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
what are you gonna show now?
And then Eric is here. He says he's a big fan of Batman '89. Do you know why they only released 3 figures in that series? There was only Batman, Joker, and Bob. That's because originally Toy Biz had the contract, but the whoever held the licensing, they weren't happy with how stuff was coming out with them, so they switched companies, and then Kenner picked it up. So it started out with Toy Biz. And they also had an 8-inch figure.
I have a couple of the 89 Batman series.
She's got the 8-inch figure, but they Toy Biz lost that contract like almost immediately.
Yeah,
almost immediately. See if anyone knows who this is. This is an old Sesame Street book. Who's that? You know, there's one person in here might know who that is,
Two.
just from looking at
Let
that
me move
picture,
that out the way.
without looking up the title of the book. Cheaters! I can feel those keyboards from here.
Yeah.
I feel the vibration of your keyboard. Shame on you. Who is that? And Johnny says he had a couple pressed by, talking about me, had a
Yeah.
couple pressed by me, $6 Million Man #1, and it graded out at an 8 with off-white pages.
Don't eat the pictures. Had Big Bird helping a boy angel get his wings.
Really? So
Wow.
Highway to Heaven episode. And I Love the 80s says you did a video a while back about your mother being cruel. I'm sorry you went through that. You're a good man and it shows. I try. No, she was not a nice person.
Oh, those stories are so sad, but he talks about them like nothing's going on.
Because
Max Mueller likes your shirt.
Oh, thank you. It's
Hey, Max.
because it's all in the past.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's basically what it is. It's all in the past. It's part of who I am, but it does not have to define me. So you move on. Ghost Junk says he doesn't like CGC custom labels either, plain all the way.
Yeah, I mean, oh.
And the shirt again. This is the real deal. We found this at a thrift store today, and it is an original. It is from the '60s, and she was like, "Oh, you got to put this on. You got to put it on." So I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it. I'm in the circa 1960s today.
Oh wow. Johnny says, be careful if y'all send y'all comics to Comic Link. They might pull an okie doke on you and have your comic reholstered and charge you for it.
Wow.
They did it to him, and he had to get on them about it. But Comic Link is like a antique mall. There's a consignment shop for comics.
Yeah, something like
so
that.
So you send it to them, and they promote it for you and sell it for you, and then of course they're gonna get their bit, and they give you some change. Man, that's dirty. It sure is. I mean, yeah.
And Nerd says, I wish someone would release a compilation of old Christmas time toy advertisements. They take me right back. Do I have any on this channel?
I have some on mine.
Yeah, I've done.
I have some on mine.
I've done some stuff before, some commercial compilations, and I might have done. I don't know if I did the old Christmas.
But it's
toys.
A lot of them on YouTube. If you just type in vintage Christmas commercials, a lot of them come up. One year we sat and watched those old commercials for like the whole month of December, and it was so funny. And on Chance on Nostalgic Pod Blast, he did a live earlier this week, and he had that old Dentine commercial about the bad breath. I was like, man, I don't remember that. That commercial was pretty was pretty mean for the time.
It's a sad state of affairs when you're nostalgic even for good commercials.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we watch those old commercials, and I know I have some on my channel. They're mixed into the TV shows because I got a bunch of vintage cartoons, and then I integrated some commercials in them. So you watch it, and then it'll come to a commercial break, and some commercials will play, and all of that. David has just blocks of commercials. But again, if you go on YouTube and you just type in vintage commercials, you can do Christmas or just vintage.
Yeah.
You can do fast food, any kind of commercial, and somebody got a block of them.
I think I'm the only one on YouTube that has an Easter block. Seriously, because I get that Easter and Thanksgiving, and people are like, "Oh my God," because they everybody does Christmas or whatever. Yeah. And I've had a bunch of people like, "I have never seen an Easter compilation. Holy crap!"
I have some in my Easter cartoons. So you watch the cartoons and you get Easter commercials.
And I've done Halloween.
Yeah.
The Halloween one. The Christmas is the biggest one. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do Christmas, but I've got ones again, Thanksgiving and Easter. Nobody does that. And Mother's Day, I did a Mother's Day one. No one ever saw a Mother's Day compilation before. Do I get any recognition for it?
No.
No, but hey, it's all right. If
the people that saw it enjoys it. Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's what it's all about in the end.
They always said Batman is for 40, 50-year-olds, while Spider-Man is for 12-year-olds.
It wasn't written for kids. None of those old comics were written for children. He said Gilgamesh recognizes the face. And Munin doesn't know who it is, but he thinks he looks creepy. and just Jeff has joined us.
Hey, just Jeff.
Talking about my shirt again.
Is it Ron
No,
Jeremy?
no. Eric says, "Is it Ron Jeremy?" No, that was not Ron Jeremy. On Sesame Street, I hope not.
Ron Jeremy had more hair than that too. He's dead, isn't he? Didn't he
No,
die recently?
no, I don't think so. They tried to put him in jail, but they couldn't because he's got dementia so
Yeah, he
bad.
got
He
Alzheimer's
don't
with
even know
him.
who the hell he is.
Yeah, for rape. The
Yeah.
man was a porn star. How you gonna be
He
raping
slept with like
somebody?
3,000 people.
Yeah.
I know it don't come back 30, 40 years later and claim rape. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But Johnny says he saw an episode of Sesame Street. It was the first appearance of Sam the robot. Sam was introducing all his robot features to Grover and Bob.
Oh, okay.
Saturday Morning said, "Did you know She-Ra's first comic appearance was Secret of the Sword?
Oh.
A comic given away when kids went to the movies to see Secret of the Sword."
Oh, really?
I'm not sure about that.
I didn't
don't know if I
that.
heard that. And 80s says, "If you can only save one toy item in
Oh
a flood,
boy.
what would it be? God forbid."
Oh boy.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Who's that? Vincent?
I'd have a heart attack.
No, that's
Hercules.
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 666. 666.
Uh-oh. Shame.
And we got
WCW fan.
wrestling fan.
He loves the 89 Batman Toy Biz line, but they have to say Kenner had the edge over them. Batman, the Dark Knight series, Batman Returns, Batman figures were the best because they got Keaton's likeness.
I got some of the Toy Biz and Kenner, and then I have the Batman the animated series ones. Those were my favorite Batmans.
At Gilgamesh, I saw the DC Multiverse Adam West at Walmart the other day.
I saw it too.
First McFarlane figure I've seen in a while, but he looks all right.
Yeah, okay. At our Walmart, they had that one that you're talking about, the Adam West, and another Batman. And that was the first time in the months that I seen a McFarlane figure at our Walmart. Okay. You have no idea who that guy is on that book.
I thought for sure Nostalgia would catch on. He might have, but I mean, we'll see because you're a little behind there.
Oh yeah, I'm way behind.
You can catch up. Yeah. Let's go ahead down a little bit.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Oh yeah, he's talking about that Dentine commercial. I don't know what video it was in, but it came out earlier this week. Y'all got to go and see that commercial. It was so funny. I was like, I can't believe they actually put that on TV. It was just mean. Oh, and Comic Link posts pictures of your book. I looked and the slab
was the exact same slag that I sent because they claimed it was damaged, and he was like, "No way."
And got an extra $30 and hope sure. I not notice. Wow, yeah, nice. That's dishonest.
And Reston telling us they don't make commercials like they used to.
No, they
Where's
don't.
the beef lady? Or like I just yesterday I put up that Charmin
hey Big Ben
coalition. That guy played that character for more than 30 years in commercials. Big Ben says, "Do you collect the Origins line?" Because he sees you collect the original Masters of the Universe.
With the Origins, I collect the vehicles and the animals, not the characters. And the reason I don't collect the characters because I got the original 80s one, the Maddie Club, the Super 7 ones, the ones from the 2000X, and it was just the same characters over and over and over again. So when Origins came out, I didn't get the Origins. So, but I do have the Origins vehicles, again, the vehicles and the animals. So I got to.
I never saw that. He said apartment. Hercules says Ron Jeremy's apartment was hoarded out. And Robert wants to know if he was in Sesame Street. No. Although he was all over the place, he would take any bit part he could get, walk on, standing in the background, and he did a lot of them for free. Trying to break into acting for real.
He wanted to really be an actor and not be a porn star.
I remember he was shot to death in some movie being filmed in France, and he flew out there himself and did it for free. Didn't speak or anything. He's sitting at a desk and just got shot to pieces just to be in something that wasn't porn.
He was in Baby Got Back.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because I heard certain Mix-a-Lot was like he wanted him to be in there because he was a porn star.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a big name one. He wasn't then at the time, but he was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I worked with the TSA,
TSA.
Ron Jeremy came through the security line, and no, I didn't go talk to him.
He's not. He says he's seen a lot of celebrities in TSA. I don't know if that guy counts as a celebrity.
He's a celebrity to
I
somebody.
guess so. And Williams said Junkman did a video about Big Bird laying an egg and a hairy fat guy hatched out of the egg. It was a never released episode. It was never an episode. That was some AI generated mess that somebody made up. It was never part of Sesame Street.
Oh, in the 60s, college students and
Mhm.
soldiers bought more Marlboro than anyone.
Yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, so who
Go
was
ahead.
this? This is Zero Mostel. And this is actually a pretty rare book. This is a tough one to find. Sesame Street, Zero Mostel. And it's weird. This is weird. Okay. I'm not going to lie. It's an opposites book. See, he's in his long johns, up, down. It's just photographs of opposites, sit, stand. And you're like, who the hell is Zero Mostel? You've seen him. You just don't realize that you have. This is the guy. He was in the original producers, Mel Brooks. He was the producer and the producer character, the guy with the cardboard belt. And he was in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. He was the impetuous slave.
That
the
was
main
a
character.
funny movie.
And he got those parts because he was a massive Broadway star. He played those parts on Broadway as well as Fiddler on the Roof. He played Tevla. And because he could sing, he could dance, he could act, he could do comedy. And when they went to, and he broke into the film industry through A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, because just like with Yul Brynner on The King and I, when they did The King and I, when they were going to make a film, they were like, who the hell are we going to get to do this? And they said, why don't you just ask Yul? He's been doing it for 7 years on Broadway. And it was a brilliant fit. Same thing with this guy. Who are we going to get to play the part? Why don't you just ask him? He's already won Tonys for playing this part on Broadway. And they asked him, and he was like, yeah, only if I got one request. I got 5 people that I think would be good for directing this. If it's one of them, I'll do it. And one of the people on that list, they were already considering. And it worked out for him. But yeah, it's just that he did this weird photo shoot for Sesame Street in, like, God, I forget what year this came out. And it's just such a weird thing to come across. I found this one in the thrift store. 1974 is when this came out. This is the first. See, there he is for real, and an explanation about the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was an odd comedy performer on Broadway. But he was massive. If you were in New York in the 70s, you knew who that was. And no, his name was not really Zero either. I think his name was like Seth or something, but Zero was his pseudonym.
So if you want to see that Dentine commercial, it's on Nostalgic Pod Blast channel, and it's on the tribute to Peter Marshall Dynamite magazine video. So that's the video, but that's a really good commercial if you ever want to see it. It's on there. Pick one for free: Wonder Bread, He-Man, or prototype G.I. Joe Rocky. What do you pick?
Well, she would probably want the so-called Wonder Bread He-Man.
I have the remake of the Wonder Bread.
She's got a nice one.
Yeah.
And Uncarded said porn. Oh, that
we
was
were
Ron
talking
Jeremy
about Ron Jeremy. He came up earlier, and we were talking about him. Do either of you dabble in art of any kind? There has to be some artistry there. No, David does, like them pieces of paper you bend up and all kinds of stuff. He does that, but art, not really.
Origami? No, I haven't done art in a long time.
No.
See, that's it right there.
Yeah, that's a custom I got from a guy in Europe. I can't think.
England.
England.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Custom Gods. I don't know what his name was. I can't remember.
Oh, geez, if I can remember.
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but I got several from him, actually.
Yeah.
Zero was in an episode of The Muppet Show. Tracy Lords used to appear at Dragon Con. She caused a lot of problems for people in her youth. Who's Tracy Lords?
I think wasn't she that porn star who lied about her age?
I think so.
I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I've heard of some of these people. I never really watched pornography.
From
so,
Blade. I don't know if she was in Blade or not.
I don't know.
Only celebrity I've seen was Chris Reeves before his accident and Loretta Swift, Hot Lips
From
Houlihan.
MASH. That's right.
MASH. I never seen an actor or singer in real life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have.
Who?
But, yeah.
Oh yeah, you said you saw some coming to the store.
No, I mean, I've seen a bunch when I was working with the conventions, with Great Eastern Conventions and stuff.
Oh,
but,
that's mean.
A bunch of retired people. The cast of Lost in Space and Lou Ferrigno, if that counts, and a bunch of artists and writers and producers or editors rather from the comic industry and things like that. Bill Mummy, who is weird as hell in real life, by the way. Display name says Sesame Street's Muppets, Mr. Rogers Show.
Yeah.
Kids are interesting. Adult culture wasn't adults writing as if they were 5 years old. That's right. Because they didn't project themselves.
They didn't
that way.
talk down to kids in kids speech, which I hate. Random question. In Herbie Goes Bananas, Herbie is thrown off a ship and sinks into the sea, and they never retrieve the car. I often think about where he must be.
Well, there was a sequel that was done in the early 2000s where they tried to revive Herbie where the car was found.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and
I remember Herbie.
Yeah.
I was like, Jim Henson said if adults couldn't enjoy Sesame Street, he failed.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Then, and Johnny said Samuel Mostel. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, he was 62 when
Yeah,
he died?
married. Married with 2 kids, I think.
Wow, so he died like right after the producers in the Forum.
1977.
Wasn't he Young Frankenstein too? Wasn't he the Hunchback?
No.
Oh, that wasn't
him.
I thought that was him.
No, that was not.
Okay. See ya. I love 80s.
Has to go. Okay. Says great show. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. No, that was not.
That wasn't him?
That was not Zero. No. And Nostalgic says, you think Zero was the Big Mac eating champion, not that thin guy who began eating Big Macs in 72 every day. Well, he only ate 2 a day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he would eat 2 a day.
Oh, wow.
And DC is here from Springfield. He went to the ZoloCon Mego meet.
Oh.
Great show. A lot of vintage Migos. Big Jim, Kenner, superpower, but holy cow, the prices were insane.
I betcha.
You might have seen Lou there from My Migo Like. He was there.
Yes.
He did filming there.
Hey, Brad. Ron Jeremy is in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he is one of the people on the street behind the police lines in the end of the first film.
I didn't meet Sergeant Slaughter. I see Sergeant Slaughter.
She didn't talk to him.
He spoke to me once.
Yeah, he wanted her what was it? Your Batwing.
Yeah.
You were carrying the Batwing and he was like, I'll take it. Yeah.
And I just felt so awful. I couldn't speak.
She feels bad for a lot of the old retired wrestlers.
Yes, I do.
They're hurting. You can see it.
And you can see that he's in like excruciating pain. He comes to the shows, even though I haven't seen him in a while. I actually haven't seen him in the last couple of shows. I don't even think we saw him at
the last Joe. He was at Jolanta.
Joe Fest.
Joe Fest. Yeah, he was there.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was there.
I think I do remember.
I made a joke about going to take his belt. Remember? I was like, "That's mine."
Okay, yeah, he was there. But he got up and he came to the middle of the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But boy, I saw him and he was kind of bent over and I just felt awful.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't say nothing. I just looked at him and gave him
and
like
see,
a
like
sheepish
Buff
laugh.
Bagwell walking with the cane and these
he
guys.
walks with a walker. You know that
Buff
walker?
Bagwell.
No. Sergeant Slaughter. He has that walker that you can sit on.
No, I said I saw Buff Bagwell walking with a cane.
I know.
Okay.
And I said, Sergeant Slaughter walks with the walker that you can
Yes.
sit on.
Yes.
Yeah, I just feel bad for him.
Nostalgic said
Yeah.
Boards was 15, said she was 18. She was in Miss America Penthouse with Vanessa Williams on the cover. Okay. I don't know.
We recently saw that Vanessa Williams Penthouse book. We were
Isn't it like a
somewhere in a
antique mall
thrift
or
store.
somewhere?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere it was causing. But yeah, she lost her crown. She was the first Black Miss America or something, and then did that video, well, that book, the
Yeah.
cover, and lost her crown.
Yeah, because that's a violation of the contract.
I remember
Benji,
Benji, the
yeah,
dog.
Benji. And he says, "How the heck do you prove you actually ate 2 Big Macs every day?" Oh no, it was Whoppers. It
Oh,
was
was
it
it
was the
Whopper?
Whopper. He's a Burger King guy, actually. It's Whoppers. I don't know. I how the hell do I know? I don't know how you would prove it.
He has a lot of toy lines. He
Sergeant
does.
Slaughter, the crossover with GI Joe has really made him iconic.
Yeah.
It really has, because it just because you seeing a real life person as a cartoon character, and a beloved cartoon character at
Yeah.
that, and that has really carried him through the years. It's good for him though. It's really, that must be a blast for Sergeant Slaughter. I got to ask him about it sometime.
K Munin wants to know how we talking about porn stars. We need to get
Because
back to the facts of the matter.
somebody made a joke and said, "Is that Ron Jeremy?" Which obviously it is not. But
Hacksaw Jim
yeah.
Duggan.
But and again, I don't know a lot about that anyways, because I was never into that. On card it says, the last time I attended Dragon Con, we went to a place called the Vortex Comedy Club. I don't know.
Dragon Con is here in Atlanta.
Is it?
Yo, I know where Vortex at. That's in Little Five Points. That's that
Is it?
place, and it has that big skull, and you walk through the mouth.
Do you? Okay.
You've seen it. You've seen it. It's in Little Five Points. I didn't know that
Okay.
was a comedy club. I didn't even. I thought it was just like a bar and restaurant. I didn't know it was a comedy club. I've only seen it during the day, and you can go there for like lunch and stuff,
Okay.
and they have like a bar. Because when I used to work in Atlanta, we used to pass it all the time. I never ate there, but I think I went. No, I didn't go in there. It's a store next to it, and I went into that store because I thought that place was like a
Okay.
bar or something. I didn't know it was a comedy club. Another trivia night would be cool.
We
Yeah,
might, yeah. We
I
might do
like
that
the
again.
trivia nights.
Trivia nights are fun.
You seen? Yeah, he is a
He is a
nice
very
guy.
friendly guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones that enjoys what he's doing. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of these guys, they hate doing the autograph circuit. They hate it. And you can tell. You can tell.
Oh,
It's
he
like,
was in Street Hawk.
you can tell. But he but Sergeant Slaughter, he enjoys doing it.
Mm-hmm. He likes coming to the shows. He's had everyone right in front of the door. You can't miss him.
Well, I mean, Fridge only got a figure. They never did anything with him.
He wasn't in any of the
No.
shows, the cartoons.
It was Slaughter actually being in the cartoon and using his own voice. That's what did it. Nostalgic said pen out issue published nude Vanessa Williams had taken years earlier. Okay.
Oh.
And Ben wanted to know about Bill Mummy being weird. Well, the thing is, and this is back again, this is great. Well, this actually wasn't part of Great Eastern Conventions, but it was a sci-fi convention that was in the Boston area in the mid 90s, early to mid 90s. And this is when Bill Mummy was on Babylon 5.
Okay.
Okay, because he played Veneer. Is it Veneer? I'm trying to remember
Who knows
the name of the character on Babylon 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would only autograph pictures of himself as that character in full makeup, because he had the whole pointy head thing and everything going, with an electric guitar. So he's standing there as the character playing an electric guitar in the photos, and that's the only thing he'll sign. There's no electric guitar in that damn show.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell has that got to be the picture that you got to sign, dude? And he was adamant about it. He'd get mad. He wouldn't sign nothing else. And it was just bizarre. It was just bizarre. It's like, dude, what the hell do you care, man? Take your $5 and sign it. Back then, when an autograph was about that much, Bill Mummy probably want $500 for an autograph now.
Johnny walked by Sergeant Slaughter and said, "Hey, Sarge," and said, "Carry on, Sergeant."
Yeah, there you go. And Saturday morning said Sergeant Slaughter was in a Scooby-Doo movie.
Really?
Was he?
Wow.
And Robert, is Casa Bonita still in South Park? I have no idea.
We don't watch South Park.
Yeah. And Nostalgic Laughing Skull and Little 5 Points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Vortex hamburgers are tasty.
Oh, are they? I never ate there, like I said.
I don't know. Uncarded. We're catching up here. Virgil hated signing for people. He sure would shoehorn his way into signings, though.
We heard
Even
a lot about
DiBiase
him.
was sick of that guy.
He'd just show up and
show up.
And then we saw another video. Somebody, they went to get Ted DiBiase's signature.
I know
and
who it was.
He took the item. I don't know if it was a belt or whatever it was, and Virgil just signed it.
It was New 80s Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
New 80s Revolution, that guy. Mm-hmm. He has a channel, and he had a belt, and he has it on his shoulder. And Virgil shows up, he comes by and just signs it. And then he's like, "What are you doing?" Because he didn't want Virgil. Virgil just did it. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "What do? You tell the guy, 'Hey, asshole, I didn't want you to sign this. This is for you.' Or what do you do?
Ain't nothing you can
Nothing you can do." And he was mad. He was mad.
I always thought that Roadblock and the Fridge were related.
I don't know.
Fridge just show up live in his commercial, but that's it.
For advertising that there would be a Fridge figure, I think. Oh. Yes. That sounds right.
He never got used in the show or comics. Yes, Street Hawk. Whoa, okay.
Complete with the bike.
I didn't know he had anything to do with Street Hawk.
I don't know. I can't know it all. Community says if they hate signing autographs so much, why do they bother?
They need that money.
That is their living. And this is the argument. And I think Johnny Future might even chime in on this one. Lou Ferrigno. That guy hates doing it. But that's all he's done for the last 30 years. He's not working. He's not working. He's on the autograph circuit. I remember him even in the early 90s at shows and complaints about him and his attitude. And they try to blow it off. The show promoters, "Oh, well, he's deaf." Well, he's legally deaf. Trust me, he can hear you. Mm-hmm. Okay? He can hear you. He uses that as an excuse to freaking ignore people or mouth off at people. He can be rude. He can be really rude. There's a lot of complaints. You can find them all over the internet about Lou Ferrigno being rude to people. He hates doing the autograph circuit, but it's all he's got. That is his living, is running around and signing stuff.
Mark Hamill charges $400 to $700.
Yeah, I posted that on the Facebook page last week. For starting at $400 and $700 for bulky items. So I guess something that isn't flat. If you bring him an action figure or something, he wants to charge you $700 for it. And then he's another one that hates doing it. Trust me, he doesn't like being out there. Nerd says he once had Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac come up in a shop I worked. He gave me his autograph, but would not sign my guitar, stating he did not like that, and it would make me play better. Wouldn't make me play better. Would not make me play better. Okay. Okay. And Nostalgic said Mark Hamill started the insane autograph and photo OP pricing in '97 at Dragon Con. He charged $75 to sign crappy animated poster. Mark would not sign your items.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he has been on record as saying that he doesn't even like Star Wars, but that he feels like he was typecast and it held him back. And it's like, dude, you were nobody before Star Wars. You should be happy you even got that. You don't see the guy from Flash Gordon crying.
Nope.
The 80s film. You know what I mean? Sometimes if you just get that one thing, most people never even get that break.
I know.
You should appreciate it, man. Come on.
It launched his career because nobody knew who he was until then, and he wouldn't have got any other parts.
What's he got? Corvette Summer? Yeah, let's chalk that one up. Yeah, that was my icebreaker, man. See, Johnny said, "Don't get me started on Ferrigno." Yeah.
Was it crossover to promote how So
pretty
she
much promote
wrote
the
the
show.
show pretty much. Okay, okay.
And
Charlie
McNichol,
Potts
okay.
was in Tampa Comic Con today, really thinking about getting my Hot Toy Daredevil signed on the box.
Okay.
Okay, that'll be cool. I know they got the Daredevil rebirth or something about a birth coming up.
Hmm.
I like the Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah.
The Netflix Daredevil and the Netflix Punisher and Luke Cage were good. I enjoyed those shows. I don't know what Disney Plus is going to do with any of them, but I don't like what they did with Daredevil and She Hulk.
No,
So,
they had him take the walk of shame at the end of that,
yeah,
carrying his boots and all of it. It's like, give
yeah,
me a break.
like a little one
They
night stand
they
and he
put
got kicked off.
they pussified him for that show, and it's just pathetic.
Yeah,
Reston says he remembers when you could mail a celebrity asking for an autograph, and they would sign a photo and mail it back to you,
really?
no charge. And again, remember, I brought it up like 3 times tonight when I was working with Great Eastern Conventions in Boston in the early '80s, comic conventions primarily. And when you went there, it was free. Even McFarlane, even like big names like that, Sam Keith, if they were at the show, part of the promotion was you paid to get in, go get whatever autographs you want,
Mm,
and they would sign stuff for you for nothing. And now we're where we are. Where are we now? Look how much McFarlane charges for an autograph now, and how much more to remark something. Eastman and Layard were at the did signings for Great Eastern Conventions. They signed 6 books for me back in
mm,
the day. Happy to do it. The only one that ever got weird about it was McFarlane because he kept changing how many he said he would sign.
mm.
He went on from unlimited to 5 to 2 to 1 the day of the show. I'm just doing one. I don't care. You want me to leave? You want me to leave? He was an ass, quite frankly. But
Talking about wrestlers, what are your thoughts on Hulk Hogan?
considering the controversy he has often found himself in, well, like him or hate him, he was instrumental in the golden age of wrestling. For you go from 75 to 95, right in that pocket, with the middle of it being right in the whole pay-per-view era when it first came around and
Mm-hmm.
the first WrestleManias and everything. Hogan, in WWF, they referred to him as the Golden Goose for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Hulkamania. He was a cultural icon at the time. So a lot of people don't like him. Oh, he lies. They all do. All those wrestlers make up all kind of crazy stories. You don't know if they're telling the truth half the time or not. You reminiscent about this happened and that happened, and here's that story. He's still iconic, you know. Uncarded said that's crazy to hear about Lou because he actually sat and talked to me twice at Dragon Con, telling me about his upcoming role in Scorpion King. He must have liked me. There's a lot of negativity around Lou. I really don't think he likes it.
In Chicago
Robert met Chris Reeve working at Chicago Hotel Intercontinental.
in the 90s.
Munin says Mark Hamill is losing his mind at $400 to $700. He'll be finger painting with. Oh no. And Johnny said sometimes the signer is nice, but the handler can be really snooty and want to rush you.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Chan says Mark Hamill was not a
Not a
great
great actor.
actor. I think he did
Uh-huh.
good voice acting for the Joker on
Uh-huh.
Batman animated series, and in the Flash, he was the trickster.
Yeah, he was over the top,
He
but
was like the
that's
Joker.
the character though.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't. Well, I have seen some movies and TV shows he was in. I think he was in a episode of The Outer Limits. The new Outer Limits. He was in like an episode or two of that, and it was okay. It wasn't horrible, but it was like a TV show, The Outer Limits, the newer one from the 90s.
Uh-huh.
Disney Plus show is the new season of Netflix series. Oh, you think so? Is it going to be as good as the Netflix? I don't know. I think Netflix did a really good job.
And
Who's that?
Andorian is there.
Andorian
He
is here.
says Hamill gave up 8 is enough to do Star Wars. He filmed the pilot. Oh man, see, lost
Oh, he was going to be
opportunity.
in Eight is Enough.
Yeah,
Hey, Action
I
Joe
think he was
Figs.
supposed to play the kid that had the curly hair.
Oh,
There, yeah. See, there goes his career. Because Lord knows nobody from that show was typecast. The
Check
only one
out.
that the only one that worked after that was the dad, and he was the Maytag repairman.
Oh, he was. You know, that's a. I thought about that when you put up the Charmin and
Yeah,
how everybody had their mascot. You had the Charmin guy, Mr. Whipple, the Maytag
time to
repairman.
make the donuts.
Yeah, the Dunkin'
They
Donuts
did that stuff
guy.
for decades.
Yeah, it seemed
Yeah.
like almost everybody had one. Even Wendy's had the woman. What she
Where's
said?
the
Where's the
beef?
beef?
Where's the
The
beef?
where's the
Yep.
beef lady? You know, you had all of these different people.
Micro
Now,
Machines had that guy who was the world record holder for
for
talking
yeah,
fast.
the fast talker. Now you don't. I mean, you kind of got a Maytag man now, but all he did is sit around pretending like he's a washing machine or a dryer. Not what are you doing? Well, the
They
Maytag never breaks down, so the Maytag man doesn't have anything to do, so
they
he doing
try
everything else.
they try with some of the insurance commercials.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the Limu
Limu Emu
Emu
and Doug.
and Doug,
Yeah,
and then they had Flo.
the only one that's actually any good is the one where the guy tries to keep you from becoming your parents.
Those are funny.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
are
And
pretty
Action Joe
funny.
Figs has joined us. We had that up
Yeah,
there.
we said that.
Hmm.
Punisher also back for new Daredevil season. I
Yeah,
hope it's not stupid though. That's the thing. But yeah, back to that. Like Charmin now has the bears, and they don't talk about squeezing the Charmin anymore. Cause you remember Charmin always had that baby on the packaging, but now it's the bears, and they always talking about, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the
look at my
bathroom.
butt. Is it clean?
So
And how do they reach? You know, their arms are all like dinosaur arms, and they
that's
have these
not the point of the
super
commercial.
long torsos and these little tiny like stump legs. Like, how the hell did you reach anyways?
That's not the point of the commercial. I think most stars are good with people, but nowadays they treat people bad. I guess because people have ruined their experience. And
The modern ones are a lot more arrogant than they used to be, though.
I
Many of
think
them
it's because they feel like they're above and better than.
could be. Johnny says he mailed away a photo to an actor that did spaghetti westerns and was in his late 70s. It took 2 years to get it
Oh
back.
wow.
I gave up I would ever get it returned, but it did. He got around to it. He got around to it. Nerd says he would only get autographs in person.
Mm.
Nostalgic said Mark Hamill was high driving and wrecked his car and his face in
Oh.
77. Was made months before Star Wars hit. His face was ruined forever.
Oh wow.
That's why they did that scene in Empire where the Wampa slashed him in the face
Mm.
to explain the scars. And Brad says Mark Hamill was supposed to be on 8 is enough, but he got into the car accident.
Hmm.
Okay, but it didn't matter because he became Luke.
Yeah, but I
And
guess he
they're,
would.
it's all the same.
Oh, I guess he would have rather been on
Mhm.
Eight Is Enough.
And Display says asking for more than one autograph from someone is insane behavior. You know, the one that got me actually, and I can't remember who it was. It was another channel, and he was going to meet Barbara Eden, and he was part of the show. And they told him he could go get autographs from people and not pay for them. And so he went to Barbara Eden, and he brought her like 30 things or something,
Oh
and
God.
she signed everything. She signed it all, and he was like, "Yeah, I figured the show probably reimburse." No, the show's not going to reimburse her for that, dude. You okey doked her. You can't just get one or two things signed. DC said McFarlane has crowdfunding superpowers, 4 figures and vehicles. Black Manta Stingray is dope. I
Yeah, we
saw
saw
that. I didn't
that.
show it, but
I
on the
thought you
weekly,
showed it on the
I didn't
roundup.
show it on the roundup, but I did see that. I did hear about it.
I don't think I've ever heard anything good in fact.
Yeah,
It's some good ones out there,
yeah,
but it's usually a lot of bad. They get hooked on drugs and steroids and they get um drinking
yeah,
problems. Their life outside of the ring is just awful.
yeah.
Hammer was on Big Bang
I don't
Theory.
know nothing. I saw one episode of that, and that was enough. That show was hard to watch.
My mama and them used to watch that, and I don't know how.
It was on. They didn't watch it.
I know. The only cause I I like some comedy, but not a lot. But I like Frasier. Frasier was funny. I think they
Yeah,
brought Frasier back. I don't
I
know.
heard that, but I haven't.
Yeah, I
I
haven't seen it, but I used to like Frasier. That was funny. The dad was funny because he was the only normal one. Everybody else was all stuck up, and dad was like normal with his regular chair and in Frasier's house, and Frasier hated it.
Nerd says Hamill was in Jay and Silent Bob's. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back
Oh yeah.
as the cock knocker. He was basically still being the trickster there,
Oh, was he?
pretty much, except that he had a big fist. That's why he was the cock knocker, because he would punch you in the groin. I'm serious.
Um,
That's what he did. Johnny said he saw a video one time of fans getting out of control on the street in New York wanting Harrison Ford's autograph, and Ford put them in their place real quick. Yeah, he did. He don't like doing it either, and he charges a fortune.
really?
Mm-hmm.
The Mother Nature butter
Butter
lady.
lady. That sounds really
Oh,
familiar.
that don't.
That sounds familiar, actually.
Yeah, but it was a lot of these companies. They had these staples. These people were their mascot, and you knew them. You got to know Mr. Whipple, and when they all died, they kind of said something or mentioned, "Hey, this person died. That person died." You know. But now you just got like Ozempic commercials and commercials about prescription
Yeah, everything
medication
is
and
medication or insurance
yeah,
or
insurance commercial.
political.
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah.
enough. I don't even
And
want to
nobody
see
wants
it.
to see that mess.
Nobody wants to see that.
Climate change and all of this and that there, and it's like you just get tired of it. David LPH, are you guys fans of Kazar and
Shauna the She
Shauna?
Devil. Kazar.
I read some of
Yeah.
Kazar. I read some of it. I don't have the enough of the run to say, yeah, I really like it, but from what I've read, I think it's pretty good. I never read Sheena though. Adam Rich worked after Eight is Enough. He was the Presto in animated. Oh, was he?
Oh yeah.
That was the little
Interesting.
Presto was the little
The
boy.
magician.
Yeah, the little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah, the magician. The little boy was the barbarian or something. The little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. The nostalgia catching us up on who was on Eight is Enough there.
Oh, okay.
And Saturday said Kid and Play Guy got mad at the House Party Kid cartoon getting canceled. Yeah, well, I've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Because he would have been in Will Smith's position, and he was like, if you don't renew the cartoon, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, okay, because we can get any moron to do it because it's a brainless show.
Yeah, he thought he had hand.
He didn't have shit.
He didn't have hand.
Yeah.
You know where that's from?
Who knows who that's? I know where that's from. Who knows?
But I got hand.
I got hand. I had hand. But
he thought he had hand.
Yeah, and it was foolish anyways, because almost hardly any Saturday morning shows get a second season. It's really rare. Most of them are only on for one season. Rarely do they go longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny said, "Oh, where is the Oscar Mayer Wiener fishing boy today?"
That boy was on there. You remember Mikey? He ate anything. They actually brought him back as an adult, and he still ate it. Hell, he still eats
Life
anything.
cereal.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
Yeah. And they brought him back as an adult for Life cereal, and he still ate it. Yeah. So they had these things, and now you got nothing.
Reston said, "I forgot the name, but Hamill was in an episode where he was a loser and hid out in the desert for years and became wealthy selling the stuff left in his house."
I don't know.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Mr. Whiffle was charming.
Yes.
Charming.
Yeah, I put up a whole commercial compilation for 60s, 70s, and 80s Charmin commercials yesterday.
He was in Charles and Charles. I remember Charles and Charles.
Yeah, Charles and Charles was stupid.
Wasn't that a spinoff of Happy Days?
No, just the same actor.
Oh, the movie Zapped. That sounds familiar. Zapped.
Big Ben says his late uncle met Oliver Hardy. Oh, wow. Butlin's holiday camp in the 50s. It was the first morning and Oliver was pissed out of his head. Oh, no. He was very nice but drunk. Oh, no.
Was it the Maytag repairman, the boss from WKRP? I don't know.
No, actually, yeah, you're right.
Oh, he was.
He was the boss from WKRP. I got them mixed up.
Operation Monster, Operation Force. They look interesting, and I
Oh,
make
the Operation
oh
Monster Force. Yeah, Action Joe's talking about. We showcased them a couple of times on the weekly roundup. They're the ones that look like Legends figures, but
uh-huh.
they're in military
Yeah,
uniforms. But they have werewolf heads and stuff too.
Charles Cosar. Yeah, Scott Bale,
Scott Baio,
whatever his
Mr.
name
Popularity, Scott Baio.
is.
He's such a warm and wonderful person. He's such a warm and wonderful person. See who gets that reference. Johnny's
Nobody knows what that
It's
means.
related to Scott Bale. Johnny says, "How many of you know Ric Flair almost died in a plane accident?" Did he?
When last week?
Years ago.
Hey, Austin, how are you?
Austin has joined us.
Things are going okay.
Yeah, we're
We had a
hanging in
little
there.
rough patch, but that's how life goes. I
Yeah,
own a mint color R-rated film print of Zapped.
I don't know if I remember Zapped.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, and he says,
Oh,
"Oh
whoa,
wow, see,
wait,
you're way behind. You got to move around. A
because
lot of that is side conversation."
I try to get everybody's stuff.
And first, last, Mrs. WWF Tag Team Champions, the British
Yeah,
Bulldogs.
he
Davy Boy was not well loved at all by the other
they
people who
did.
worked there.
Oh, now it's in Boston. They moved back to Boston,
Ugh.
lady.
Oh yeah, see, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Does
That
that
does
sound
sound
familiar? Yeah,
familiar.
I told you that sounded familiar.
Yeah, that sounds familiar, but I don't really remember it though. But that line sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
and
Autograph.
he said Duen sounds nice, and of course that's Scotty from Star Trek.
Mm,
Johnny says he hates modern comedy TV movies. It's too
yeah.
much sexual innuendo. Always makes well, there's nothing wrong with innuendo, but we don't need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
It's
like
enough. It's enough to imply it. I get it.
yeah, because like if you watch Are You Being Served, every episode they
A lot of
implied it.
innuendo, sure.
Um, but we didn't have to see any action.
Hey there, sexy knickers. I don't half fancy you. That's that's from the pilot episode, isn't it?
I
Wasn't
think
that the
so.
first
I think
episode?
that was the very first episode.
Ooh, listen to this. Hey, sexy knickers. I don't half fancy you.
It was like, what the heck does that mean?
He doesn't half fancy
I
her.
don't know. The cast of Back to the Future are great signers, and aside from Michael J. Fox, the other characters will actually have a short conversation with
Okay.
you.
And local comic shop cannot get current bag and boards for 2 weeks, trying to support them, but may use Amazon.
Man, I go
Well,
on Amazon. Yep, that's what George
Seinfeld,
said.
that's George. I don't have
Jerry, I have
hand.
hand. I had hand because
Yeah.
his girlfriend left him. He thought that he had power
He
over her.
thought that
So
she was going to dump him, and then um, Jerry suggested a preemptive dump. Why don't you just dump her first? Dump her first, so she doesn't get the chance. That way, she doesn't have hand. And then he dumped her, and then she was
I
like,
have
"But
hand,
you're
and you're
breaking
gonna
up
need
with
it.
breaking up with me."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that too. That's also from Seinfeld.
yeah. That's what she said when
And you're
at the
gonna
end of
need
it,
it.
because he blew it. He blew it.
Yeah.
And Saturday said, "Don't forget Troy and Vance from the Dukes." Oh, how did they
Uh,
how, show up in season 1 of the Dukes cartoon before Bo and Luke replaced them in season 2?
did those guys ever work again? I never
No,
see them.
I don't think
I
so.
see. I never saw them again.
I don't know what happened to those two. That was, I mean, they just kind of dismissed them too when they were done. Well,
Yeah.
the producers of the show thought the star was the car,
Yeah.
and that they could just say, you know what, you want to negotiate this. We'll get 2 other Duke boys. Goodbye.
Man, Chance, I just go on Amazon. I buy my bags and my boards, and I buy the comic boxes, the short boxes. I get all that stuff on Amazon. I buy the jackets for my records. I buy the sleeves, everything on Amazon. You get it cheaper than you do on eBay, in the stores, or anywhere else. You try to support these people. They're not cheaper.
No, it costs more actually.
Yeah, they cost more. They never want to work out. It'd be like, man, but I need a lot of bags and boards. Okay, well, it's just
I
cheaper.
don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and then you go on Amazon and you buy it this morning. Like if you buy it 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes you get it by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or you get it the next day.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't even bother. I don't. We don't even go to comic book stores anymore. There's comic book shops
No.
anymore because it's
And they
like
won't bargain with you
they
either.
never
But then
bargain.
if you catch them at a convention,
Yeah,
they'll crawl on the floor to get you a deal.
they'll give you a deal. It's like, why you couldn't give me the same deal in the store? I'm asking you about the exact same book I saw in the store. You wouldn't give me a deal, but now we at this show. You had to lug this stuff out here, and now you're gonna give me a deal.
Hmm.
No, just go on Amazon, man. Buy that stuff and be done with it. You're gonna pay you don't pay shipping if you got Amazon Prime. I mean, you're gonna pay taxes anyway, so you may as well get it and get it the next day.
Yeah.
It was what
What was,
was?
James?
Oh yeah, we done got so far off. We don't know what you're talking about anymore. Max Headroom in Coke ads. I remember that,
Hmm.
the Max
And
Headroom.
Max Headroom, the TV show, predicted where we are with YouTube, where everybody had a channel, had a TV channel.
Happy Days.
Love American Style.
Oh yeah, they had more than Happy Days.
Happy Days is a spin-off from a sketch on Love America Style. And
Mm.
then Happy Days, of course, you get Laverne and Shirley, the Laverne and Shirley cartoon, Happy Days cartoon. You got Mork and Mindy. You got
Mm-hmm.
Takes an Angel.
Chachi and all that.
Yeah, Joni Loves Chachi. There was another one with this guy who promoted. You got he was a promoter of beauty contests
Mm.
that was on that show and got his own show from that. It only lasted a season. The only one that really made it was Laverne and Shirley. It was more popular than Happy Days was.
Now I remember liking Laverne and Shirley,
Uh-huh.
but I never cared for Happy Days. I never liked the show. I don't know why. I don't know what about it, but I remember not caring for the show. Um, but I saw all of that other stuff. I never cared really for Mork and Mindy either. I watched that.
It had only 3 seasons, really. I think it
Hmm.
was a stupid show, but
I
it
don't
was
think I ever
popular for the
saw the
time.
Chachi one. I
You
don't.
didn't miss much.
Mm-mm, I don't remember that even being a thing. And so I never saw that, but I always remember the Fonz, and I'm like, how does he fit in? He always felt old, but he was always at the soda shop or whatever that was.
Arnold's.
Yeah, but it was a soda shop, right? A
Yeah, it was a
restaurant.
diner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always there, but I knew everybody else was in high school.
Hmm.
So I guess in my child mind, I'm thinking he's in high school, but he always felt old.
He wasn't in high school.
Oh, okay. Because he always
No.
looked and felt old.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure out.
He was
Well,
supposed to be an older character.
okay,
He
well,
just hung out at
I
Arnold's.
don't know why he hung out there with all them kids. See, that's even weird.
Well, it was the 50s. I
You
don't
got some
know.
old man hanging out
He
at
wasn't
the
that
soda
old.
shop.
He wasn't
But
supposed to
you
be that old.
but you know what was good? What was the one? It had what's the guy name that played the redhead guy from Happy Days? But he was in that Graffiti, American
American
Graffiti.
Graffiti.
That was a good movie. It
Yeah.
wasn't about nothing, just them driving around town all night. But it
Yeah.
was still
Harrison Ford was in that.
a lot of people was in it. Once you
Mhm.
saw it, oh yeah, I'm gonna just skip through some of these things because I know we like way behind. So I'm gonna just put your comments.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. We're not reading as many comments because we're running our mouth, but
Yeah.
But it was a lot of people in that movie. Once you go back and watch it, you're like, man, you almost recognize everybody
Yeah.
from that movie.
Yeah,
It
there's some
was a
familiar faces in there.
yeah, and it was actually again, it was a good movie
It's
about
just good
nothing.
storytelling. It's just good storytelling,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, but it wasn't about nothing.
Uh-huh.
Like Seinfeld almost.
Seinfeld's,
Seinfeld was a
yeah,
TV show
not
about
supposed to be
nothing,
about anything.
even though every episode was about something.
Yeah.
But that was a good movie. I enjoyed that one. Okay, let's see. We'll catch up now. I was in the pool. Okay.
Oh, George
Oh
Costanza.
yeah. I remember that one.
Shrinkage, the shrinkage
Yeah, the
episode.
shrinkage. I was in the pool. Oh,
Yep.
so now we know who ordered the code red. It was Adam Rich. Okay, they talking about something
Yeah,
else.
this is
I think
more
it's just a
side
lot of
conversation.
side conversation.
As we Munit says, I agree with supporting local comic shops, but some of the people who run these stores are their own
Yes.
worst enemy. That
Yeah.
is true. That is true. Raccoons.
Yeah, Mac tonight.
Mac tonight. That's right.
Yeah.
A rip on Mac the Knife from Sinatra, Frank Sinatra's song "Mac the
The
Knife."
Wait Till Your Father Comes Home prime time cartoon. That was a cartoon. Wait till your father gets home.
And Darren says Fletch was Chevy Chase. Nobody remembers Fletch.
Telling off his childhood toys.
Did he? And Saturday says Mork did last 3 seasons.
It
I
was on
thought
that
so. Yeah,
long.
3 seasons. They were already in trouble when they had to have a baby on the show. I mean, that's like a
Oh
death.
no.
That's a death knell. And
When
then
they introduce a baby, hey Hank.
yeah, Hank
When
is
they
here.
introduce a baby, you know the show's about to end.
Yeah, and then they try to be different by making the baby be Jonathan Winters, who was probably like 70 at the time.
How do
Because
you do that?
Orkians age in reverse.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, so of course, if Mork has a baby, then the baby has to be an old man and regress. And Hank
Yeah,
says
we
the
talked
Acolyte was
about that
canceled. Yeah,
earlier.
that's right.
We talked about that earlier.
But yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Wolfman Jack was in there.
oh yeah, yeah. He was the DJ
Okay.
as himself. Black Knight's there.
Hey, Black Knight, how are you? How are
Wanted to
you?
jump into the live stream. Glad you could make it. Black Knight also has a channel.
Yes.
And Saturday says, remember the Noid
From
even
the
had a video
video
game.
game.
You know who else had a video game that was actually pretty good? Spot from 7-Up had a Sega Genesis game.
Oh, did he?
That was good. It was tough. It was tough actually though, but it was a good game. And what is the name of it? I just showed it the other day. It's the one from McDonald's, because Ronald McDonald had one.
A video game?
Yep. He's in it. He's in the bonus rounds, but he's not in the game itself. He's in the bonus rounds. It's also a Sega Genesis game.
And changed the show's tone. The show never recovered. Oh, they took off they took out that girl, his little girlfriend that he was staying with.
I don't
Was that
remember.
his girlfriend or
She was putting him up at first, and then she
Yeah.
became his girlfriend when she found out he was an alien.
I thought she knew he was an alien all the time. He slept upside down in that egg.
Well, she found out he was an alien in the first episode.
That's what I'm saying.
She thought because she picked him up hitchhiking, basically. If I remember this correctly, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but she picked him up hitchhiking, and he was, she thought he was a priest because he had a collar, and she brought him home, and then he turns around and he's wearing a suit. It's on backwards, and then she's like, oh my God, she realizes I just picked up some nut. I'm in trouble, and then he had to explain.
Johnny thinks you need to write a book about all the stuff you know.
I don't know if that'd work.
And Nerd wants you to hurry up and have another trivia night.
I bet. It wasn't McKids. God, I just showed it like a week ago doing one of the afternoon live streams on the Sega Genesis cartridges. I can't think of the name of it now off the top of my head. Too many things going on.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh says best mascot video games were Chex Quest for PC and the Burger King games for Xbox 360. Really? Global Gladiators. That was it. Global Gladiators was it. It was the name of it. And Ronald McDonald was in the bonus rounds.
Oh, okay.
But Spot 7-Up spot cartridge was a lot of fun too, but it was tough. And one that I used to play, I couldn't find it. Earthworm Jim for Sega Genesis,
Mm.
and that was tough too. That was a hard game. David says, got the Death's Head for Marvel Legends exclusive. Figure is great. It looks good.
Oh yeah.
Death's Head looks good. And Saturday said Mork season 1 had Mindy's family and a kid Mork was friends with, and season 2 dumped them all but Orson and moved Mork and Mindy to a new town. Okay, I don't remember.
I know I didn't care
I don't
for that show.
remember.
And then at the end, he would always go and talk to somebody back on his home planet.
Yeah, because he had a report to
Yeah.
Orson, I think, right? Orson was the guy that was in charge. And Black Knight says McDonald's Treasureland. No, I remembered it now. It was Global Gladiators
Global
for Sega
Gladiator.
Genesis.
Mm. Video game.
But that was a good game. Basically, it was kids with super soakers, and they would run around and they would shoot these monsters.
Mm-hmm.
They would shoot these monsters, these like sludge monsters, and kill them. And he says, ironic, the old cast was in the more cartoon that came out with season 2. Well, there you go.
Mork and Minnie was funny though.
Yeah. Well, if you liked it, you liked it. I just I remember it as being kind of dumb, but you know. And Gilgamesh has Earthworm Jim for Super Nintendo. Those were hard games, both great though. Actually, did beat them both. Yeah, they were tough. It was tough to get through some of those stages.
Bosom Buddy was awful.
I
That's the
remember
one
Bosom
with Cousin
Buddies.
Balky.
No, no, no. Bosom Buddy is the one with Tom Hanks when he was
Oh.
in drag.
Who is the one with Cousin Balky?
Perfect
Perfect
Strangers.
Strangers.
Perfect
Why do
Strangers.
I always remember
Perfect
that dumb show?
Strangers.
It was so
It was bad.
stupid.
Most of ABC's sitcoms were kind of hard to stomach. It's trying to watch them nowadays. It would be painful.
They had the one with Patrick Duffy, and he had married this woman. She had kids. It was almost trying to, I guess, almost trying to be like the Brady Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And they had got married, and they both had kids, and they moved in together with the kids, and they had to try to figure all of that out.
Okay.
It was an ABC show.
Hank said that Joni and Chachi wasn't very good.
Yeah, that's what you said, that it was awful.
Yeah, that was dumb.
I don't remember that show. Hey, that's my brother. Oh, I forgot to send the update today, but I'll send you an update a
Mork
little
and
bit
Mindy
later.
was great. Yeah, you would think so.
Don't mind Derek.
Derek is
Yes.
a car aficionado.
He's in the Mustang Club, and I have to pin him down so I can interview him. But he's in the Mustang Club, and he has a specially signed Mustang. He told me the whole story
Yeah.
behind this Mustang. I can't tell you right now because I don't
There's no time.
remember.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a lot of it because it was a couple of years back. But he's big into cars and Mustangs.
Yeah, you know, he's one of those guys that goes around to the car shows and stuff, but as you know, to present a vehicle.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't collect anything aliens. No. I would like to get some aliens, Hot Toys aliens, 1/6 scale aliens. Oh yeah, that show was step by step.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have the whole Kenner aliens run and the original Kenner 16-inch alien.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, which of course, you know, I lost all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Derek wants to know, how did I find you guys?
You was on YouTube.
You were looking for the best of YouTube and you landed here. That's Hank says Dino City for Super NES was a tough game too, considering your dinosaur couldn't jump very well. You know, that sounds like was it Dinos for Hire, or had a, I think it was Dinos for Hire had a SNES game too, right? That was tough. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Perfect Strangers was horrible.
It was a
Family
horrible
loved
show. It was awful. Buddies had Tam Hayes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was Bosom.
To get cheap room and board in New York, because it was a women's only building.
Yeah,
And
Susan Summers.
the Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne.
But the gag, of course, was you're looking at them and they're obviously dudes, and it's like, how are you fooling anybody? And that was the running gag, of course. And Nerd says the best Tom Hanks film is Big. Yeah, that at least for comedy, that's his best. I like Big.
Hank wants to know, Derek, was your car signed by Carol Shelby? I don't know. It's on the dash. If he's still, oh, he's already gone. Um, but it's on the dashboard of the car. And he said only so many was signed. So when you get in it, you see
Yeah,
this big old
by
signature on
the car's designer.
yeah,
Yeah,
the designer signed the car. Um, I don't know. He into that kind of stuff.
yeah,
I mean, I like cars. He got like the newer Mustang. I want the 66 Mustang. So that's where we differ.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's big into that. Those cars look good, and boy, don't let it get nicked. David had to point out to him
You could just see
that his
you could
car
just see the
was nicked.
sweat forming on his forehead. He's like,
He about had a heart
oh,
attack.
yeah.
He about had a heart attack when David asked him why. How'd you get that nick on your hood? I
And
thought he was gonna pass out.
Hank says the Kenner Aliens and Predator toys were awesome. They were
Yeah,
really
they
well,
are.
really nice. The '90s ones
Okay, he said it was Jack Roche, the designer,
of the
a
very first Mustang.
very first Mustang signed the car. Okay. He told me the story about how he went somewhere and that guy was there, and it was only so many, I think like 500 Mustangs, and he signed each one, and he has one of the ones that was originally signed by the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a cool story, but I got to pin him down on video
Yeah.
talking about it.
And Black Knight wants to know if I did a video with Jim Varney at Ernest commercials. No, I don't have that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I don't have a commercial compilation of him because I think he used to work for 7-Up. I mean, not 7-Up, 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven.
Was that 7-Eleven where he did the Vern?
I believe so. I believe so.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Johnny Future.
She's the Sheriff was pretty bad too.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
of ABC's sitcoms, with the exception of Soap, are pretty crappy. But Johnny Future made a donation to the channel. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny.
All the help we can get to take care of those shelter cats, we appreciate it. And he wants people to thumbs up and share and everything. Please do if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Share the love. Gilgamesh said Odd Couple was the only show with that premise of roommates that was cool. And the remake wasn't good though. They tried to bring the new Odd Couple.
I remember that.
It was in the 80s, and it was two black guys, and it just didn't fly. You couldn't recreate it. It's some shows you just need to leave them alone.
Yeah. I wonder how the new Wonder Years did, because they remade the Wonder Years with an all black cast. I wonder how that did. Was there ever a heavy metal cartoon? Toys
from the film originally? No, but recently I think what's her name, Tara, has been done in 1/12 scale. Like last year. And remember Harry and the Hendersons? Yes, they made a show from the movie. It didn't last long, and that show spawned a pull string talking Harry. Big like 18-inch pull string talking Harry.
I don't remember. I do remember Uncle Jesse from Full House. I don't know if he had a Mustang. I don't remember that.
Remember.
But he had some.
Yeah.
Mustangs are great. I have it was my Camaro only, and are the only two cars I've ever had.
Oh. Saturday said Ernest ads are officially on DVD.
Really?
Okay,
so
wow.
Just those ads?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess so. And he said he always did commercials for Cream or Weber or Highland Milk. He branched off and did other commercials as well. All right, maybe I don't remember it correctly.
Ernest had movies though, and a TV show. Didn't he have a TV show?
I don't remember a TV show,
but I know he had movies.
He did a ton of films. Yeah,
Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, he did like a dozen movies.
But they were all dumb.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's the type of character that he portrayed, and then he actually, you could almost say that that Deadpool is based off of him, except for the fighting, because he spends half the time talking to the camera.
Oh yeah, she did have a 78 Mustang. My mom
Hmm.
had a 78 Mustang. It was brown. I never knew it to work. It was always on blocks.
Oh
I
no.
saw it. But she did have a brown Mustang. Yes, 78 Mustang. David, after 2 marriages and divorce, I still have my 1979 Kenner aliens.
I do not have mine. I do not have mine anymore. And finding it now is a nightmare. When I got it in the box, I
That
mean,
thing is like a couple of $1,000s, ain't it? You
yeah,
remember we saw it at a show and a guy said he wanted what, like $2,000
yeah,
for it?
yeah. When I got it in the box, I mean, you could get it for like $50. Nobody cared about that back in the '90s.
Yeah, hey, Burn.
It's Ernest was, oh, so there was a show. I wasn't aware there was a
I
show.
thought so. It seemed like I remember a TV show, but it didn't last long. It didn't take off like the commercials in the movies did.
Hmm.
Not that the movies are like cult classics or anything,
Yeah,
but it didn't take off. But yeah, I do remember that. And they tried to do a TV show with the cavemen, because you remember they had the
Geico.
Geico cavemen, and they were kind of popular, so they tried to do a TV show with them, but that didn't take off. I don't think they got a good bit of episodes off of that. Probably about 4 or 5
I don't
episodes.
remember. I remember it being on, but I never watched it.
The
That's the
Corvettes are
problem.
not. Yeah, the Corvettes are really nice. I like the Corvettes. I never cared really for the Stingrays. The Stingrays were the ones with the long fronts and that
Yeah.
tiny back. But I like the Corvettes. The newer ones look. I like the old body style. The newer ones, because I see the newer ones riding around here a lot.
Yeah.
I don't care for the newer
I want
ones.
that kit car that Patrick McGowan drives in the Prisoner.
Oh, the Prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, the car came as a kit and you put it
Put it together
together.
yourself.
I don't think the remake Wonder, yeah, wow, especially after the sexual molestation charges that followed the
Wow.
original story. Yeah, that the Kevin, the guy that played Kevin, he has sexual harassment charges that was thrown on him like right when he announced that that show was coming out.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
That can't help.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh well. But anyway, it's well, it's only a little after 2 hour, a little more than 2 hours we've been on, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
we got a couple of things we got to do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping things up. One more look. One more look at the 60s glory here. Again, that is an authentic 60s shirt. I just couldn't resist.
No, we do not have any gremlin
No,
figures.
LJN made those. They did
Mm.
ET also. I had those. Don't get me started. But anyways,
You had
I
everything.
had a lot. I mean, well, back then it would cost nothing. The stuff was so cheap, it was crazy. They couldn't
Yeah.
give it away. But again, hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and start wrapping things up. Special thanks to Johnny Future and Stone Sour.
Yes, for your
Made
donations.
donations to the channel today. Helps a lot with
Yes.
our shelter pets.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate everybody popping in. We hope you
Yes.
had a good time.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule on this Saturday and spending it with us, just talking about whatever
Sure.
and just hanging out. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and maybe we'll